Coming up now is another sparkling Two Mics podcast. I put it in my mouth, right, and then I go... No, sorry, my mouth goes round and round like a tumble dryer.
Yeah.
And that means that I'm whooshing all areas of the inside of my...
so you're doing that rather than brushing them.
Exactly.
Good morning, I'm Mike Graham, he's Mike Parry. You're listening to the award-winning Two Mics on Talk Sport and Talk Radio. We're the proud recipients tonight of the IRN News Award for Best News Special for our coverage of the night Donald Trump was elected 45th President of the United States of America. And we'd like to thank all of you out there, all the listeners, for all your support over the years. Coming up tonight, we'll be previewing the new Formula One season. We've got a Porky quiz on the Masters at Augusta, and we'll bring you the latest on the Westminster attack as well. 08717 22 3344. You're listening to the award-winning Two Mics with me, Mike Graham, and Mike Parry on Talk Sport. This is Talk Sport. We are the Two Mics, and it's time to say a very, very good morning to one half of the award-winning Two Mics. It's Mike Porky Parry.
It certainly is, Mike, and it's a pleasure to be with you here tonight.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank everybody who got involved with
It's like the Oscars, isn't it?
It is like the Oscars, who got involved with the awards ceremony. I mean, to be, with our peers in this industry, and that's who it comes from. It comes from your peers. It comes from those you work with day in, day out, who you've grown up with over the last 20 years of broadcasting, and for them suddenly then to hand down, to deliver this incredible token of respect
So what do you
to
mean,
us.
Token?
Well,
It's more than a token.
Well, it's a token of respect in the form of an award.
Token, that means it's something that's derisory.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah,
If you'd have I said this token of respect. I didn't call it a token.
No.
This token of respect, which is a terrific award. It's the IRN, which is the most prestigious broadcasting agency in the world.
Is that right?
Okay. Yeah.
Excellent.
And independent radio news, of course. And to have received a massive salute from them. A massive salute,
yes,
I think.
Recognition, I think.
Recognition.
Yeah. We were very happy to do the show.
Very happy.
It was an incredible night of history.
It certainly was.
In many ways. And it's just nice occasionally that you can get, rewarded for something that you love to do.
Yes. Yeah, indeed. It is.
We'll try not to go on about it too much.
No, we don't go on about it too much, but I think it's, it's worth... Just saying to the millions of you out there, we could not have done it without your support.
We
do it for you. We do it for you.
In all seriousness as well, there have been so many very, very nice tweets and congratulations. I haven't had a chance to put it on Facebook yet, which I will do.
Yes.
That we haven't been able to respond to absolutely every single one of them. We've retweeted many of them. We've liked many of them. But if for some reason we've missed you off, and many apologies. There's been hundreds of them.
Well,
the sort of the encouragement that we get from the listeners is fantastic.
Well, it is fantastic. I put out a message saying thank you to all who've responded and showed your appreciation for what we do. It's terrific. And I want to also add that part of the award came for the night's coverage and included our two very great colleagues, Robin Schönhofer, and Sandy Waugh.
Sandy Waugh.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Who are both, outstanding news readers, recognised in their discipline for what they do,
and you shouldn't forget,
part of the whole award process.
Yeah, don't forget Dave Levine, the producer, as well.
Dave Levine, the producer.
We couldn't have done it without him.
Well, we couldn't have done it without him, really. We have done it without him in the past, and sometimes we'll probably have to do it without him in the future, but on that particular night, we couldn't have done it without him.
And John Hearn, of course. I think was there on the night as well.
John Hearn, terrific guy.
He's not here tonight.
Josh
is here tonight, but he can share in the basket of glory of it all.
Josh is sitting in the same seat that John Hearn would normally sit in, so it's kind of in the seats of giants, you know what I mean?
Something like that, rather than on the shoulders of them. Yes, but thank you to everybody for sending some very nice messages of congratulations to us. And we are generally chuffed about it, we really are.
Yes.
Because, it doesn't happen very often.
No.
And we were up against some quite stiff opposition.
Very stiff opposition. So, I think there was a Hillsborough documentary.
We don't need to go into that.
Well, I'm just saying that the quality of the stuff we were up against was very high indeed, which shows you that there are levels to be achieved.
Yeah.
I think it...
Anyway, that's enough about that.
Well, no, I
think...
think...
enough self-congratulation.
No,
I think it's time
not
to move on now
self-congratulation.
to create some more award-winning radio.
Not self-congratulation.
As opposed to sitting here just patting each other on the back.
Not self-congratulation, but I think you will agree that I set the tone when we first started doing this job, and that was that each day when we come in here, we will set out in the pursuit of excellence. Hey? And I think that you have always followed that mantra of mine.
What are you talking about?
And I think the pursuit of excellence...
What are you talking about?
Well, if you'd listen, you'd hear, wouldn't you?
Well, what are you talking about? You set out the agenda.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
And the pursuit of excellence is something we've striven to try and achieve every minute of every day.
Striven, have we?
We have been in this
I've
this
strived.
studio.
I haven't striven.
Oh, well, I've striven, actually, because that's the past tense. But anyway, if you've strived...
So you're not striving anymore, then?
Strived.
Have
Yes,
you given
I'm
up striving?
No, not at all.
So you've striven in the past, but you're not striving now. Is that what you're telling me?
No, you're putting words in my mouth.
Well, you're trying to be clever with words. You're failing miserably.
No. You're doing your one-trick pony
this is your new thing.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about one-trick pony. Yeah. This is what you now call me, and this is all you can call me. So you now keep calling me a one-trick pony.
Well, that's true.
Which is almost as though you're a one-trick pony, because that's all you've got.
Oh, dear. It's going around in circles, this, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Right, anyway, Everton are going to get a new ground, I hope. And it means...
they are going to get a new... Did they not sign something today?
Well, it means they're going to the Bramley Moor Dock site.
Uh-huh.
But as far as the new ground goes, what they've done is they've acquired the land on which to build a stadium.
I see.
So they have now to put the whole development plan into operation.
What, you mean they have to get planning permission?
Funny you should say that. The next step is to acquire planning permission and then to build the...
Well, that could be a bit of a disaster if they don't get planning permission, couldn't it?
Not really, considering the Mayor of Liverpool has been publicly talking about it and saying what a great asset it'll be to the city.
What, are you saying it's a foregone conclusion?
I'd say it's a foregone conclusion,
Are you saying that the planning sort of process is gerrymandered then?
No, not at all.
Well, what if somebody objects?
People can object, but everybody seems to recognise this as a fantastic asset to the city, bearing in mind that Liverpool will be making a bid for international competition like the Commonwealth Games in the years of the 2020s. So to have two fantastic stadia in the city,
Well, they want the Commonwealth Games.
I think so, yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, they were in Manchester before, weren't
That's
they?
right, yeah. So, so there's all that sort of thing to consider, what the benefit to the city.
Are they not going to try and get some taxpayers' money loaded in there, are they?
Well, they say it is entirely free of public money. The development.
Because if they're making it part of a bid for the Commonwealth Games, possibly, I mean, that's how Manchester City got their stadium, isn't it?
Indeed.
It was East Manchester Stadium.
Indeed, they certainly did. But I don't think you could have a Commonwealth Games in a city that hasn't got an athletic stadium. So I suppose the public money would be for an athletic stadium,
yes,
I would assume.
Very possibly. Have they not got one of those in Liverpool then?
We used to have the Liverpool Stadium, which is where I saw... no, I didn't. My dad saw Johnny Conte boxing one night. I'm sure it was the Liverpool Stadium.
Okay.
And that was a kind of athletic stadium, but I think it was knocked down years ago. It was like dilapidated and fallen to pieces.
Sort of like was it more like an indoor arena type thing?
No, it was called the Liverpool Stadium.
Right.
It might have been a dog track, actually.
Okay.
Somebody up there will definitely know. But it was that kind of thing.
Somebody will tell us.
Yeah, that sort of thing. That when remember the old dog track in Wimbledon?
Yes.
You couldn't really quite work out what that was. No. It was a kind of stadium, kind of dog track.
Wasn't there one out sort of Essex way as well?
Wandsworth, was it?
Well, that's not Essex way. I mean, Wandsworth is the West London.
Sorry, not Wandsworth. What begins with W, out east?
Well, I thought it was something like... Because I used to talk about
it begins
one
with
of our
W.
friends at the Express used to go to somewhere
dogs.
Yeah. Walthamstow, wasn't it?
Walthamstow, that's the one.
Dogs.
Yeah, Walthamstow Dogs, that's the one, absolutely. Not
I think most of these dog tracks are all gone now, aren't they?
Most of them have gone, and a night at the Dogs used to be quite a bit of fun, didn't it? You go out there, have dinner in a glass box, so to speak, and watch all the dogs running around. But I could never ever get my head around betting on dogs because I regard them as pets. So I thought, well, if they're not in the mood tonight, they're not going to run.
Right.
You
Here's a guy who's a complete plank, right? Because it's good to start the night off with a plankery message. This is from Nathan in Maidstone. Now, he has spent 50 pence plus his normal network charge to send this particular message.
Okay.
Don't understand why one-trick pony MG mocks Donald Trump. As if it wasn't for Donald Trump, the two mites wouldn't have won their mediocre second-rate award, which was based on the American election.
That's a bit harsh, Nathan.
Well, Nathan, you've spelt wouldn't have wrong because it should be the two mites wouldn't have won.
Yes.
And their mediocre second-rate award should be THEIR rather than THERE.
And when did you last mock Donald Trump? I don't remember that.
I don't mock Donald Trump.
No, exactly.
I make comments about Donald Trump, and I give you my opinion of Donald Trump.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, I will mock you, though, Nathan, because you are a complete plank. Because not only have you sent us a second-rate text, you've paid for it.
Yes.
You're plank.
Yes, you certainly have.
Send us another one.
Yes, send us another one, please.
We'll make some more money.
We certainly will.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we've got lots more to talk about tonight.
We've got an awful lot to talk about, I'm telling you. There's a lot going on in the world.
We've got the start of Formula One, which is down in Australia this weekend. Yeah. We've got a 3-hour show tomorrow, by the way.
3-hour show Saturday is great. 11 till 2.
We've got England-Lithuania to talk about.
England-Lithuania to talk about.
We've got Wales-Republic of Ireland to talk about.
Wales-Republic of Ireland, but also there is a development on the upholstery front at... Porky Towers.
Well, funny you should say that. There's a lot of people who are interested in your upholstery, the latest development.
There are.
Because all day I've been fielding questions from people saying, can we get an update on Porky's upholstery scenario?
It's been a nightmare. I'm telling you.
Some very high-flying media types, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Who listen to the show.
That's right.
So we'll get to all of that. We will take some of your calls very possibly as well. We're also going to talk to Chris Sampson, who's the Chief Terrorism and Cyber Researcher for the Terror Asymmetrics Project.
Yes.
Which sounds very complicated, but we're going to ask him about this bloke, the 52-year-old terrorist, as he's being called, who committed all of those awful crimes in Westminster yesterday.
Yes.
This is TalkSport.
Yes.
The winner takes it all. The loser has to fall. It's simple and it's plain. Why should I complain? But tell me, does she kiss like I used to?
I don't want it to sound too over-congratulatory, this show, but that's not a bad song, that, under the circumstances.
Under the circumstances, it's an excellent song indeed. Yeah. And, I'm very, very happy to be here tonight in the glow and the warm...
I'm very happy to be here tonight.
People
really love
me. In a warm glow and appreciation of my art being recognised.
Your art?
If you see what I mean.
I've always recognised your art.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't fail to recognise it. It's quite large. Now, how about this from Mark?
Yes.
It says, well done, lads. Keep up the good work, you legends. Then,
thank you.
We've got one here which says, from Gaza, so apparently if Donald Trump wasn't running, there wouldn't have been any election coverage. What a plank that guy is.
Yes, absolutely.
And Bernie says, Walthamstow Dogs is now flats, but we still have Romford Dogs.
Oh, Romford, that's the one. I said it was out east, didn't I?
The Romford Pele goes there, doesn't he?
Romford Pele does go there. We'll have to go there. In fact, I was invited there one night with him, and I couldn't get over there because we were doing something else at the time.
Okay.
But anyway, there you go. Now, listen, every time I walk into a certain, hostelry, in fact, any hostelry...
Wetherspoons?
No, it's not Wetherspoons.
Did you see that story from Scotland about the guy who was found dead in the toilets?
Where?
In Wetherspoons.
Well, these things happen, don't they?
Apparently he'd been there all night.
Well, I mean, look...
Nobody noticed that he was in there.
It's very unfair to point the finger at one particular chain.
That's where he was.
Well, yeah, they've got 750 pubs, so they're bound to have a...
So what you're saying is every so often somebody's going to die in one?
Yeah. Well, people do die in pubs, don't they? That's the problem. It's like when you go on a cruise. Every time...
No, but the reason people die on cruises is because they're so old.
They're old and they die. And
Wetherspoons is meant to be full of young people, isn't it?
Well, no. A lot of the times I find
single drunk men.
No, not drunk men. I find Wetherspoons sometimes is full of men who are in the later years of their life who enjoy sitting there with a good, economically priced pint and a newspaper.
Well, this is not the case in
Balham,
and
fish and chips and all that.
Because in Balham, apparently, when you sit there with a good economically priced pint on a table for four, you get a lot of abuse.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Now, there's this one particular place I go. There's a huge sign when you walk into the restaurant area which has planks, literally, Planks.
This is the new thing, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. And, of course, that's a name you've attached to me, quite unfairly. And it says,
I'm happy to say that actually it's a word that's now in common parlance that lots of people use about lots of other people.
£7.45, £7.45 it is in this particular one in Stockbroker Bell.
What do you get for your £7.45 plank?
I'm not sure, actually, because I won't eat off a plank. This is the whole point of my story. I hate eating off a plank.
What, do you have to have a plate?
Yeah, I eat off a plate, not something stupid, like here, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So, guess this latest one, right? A guy called Anton Piotrowski.
Yes.
Right. MasterChef winner. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I'm not a big fan of MasterChef. But,
okay, do you know who he is?
No.
No, okay. Well, he has a popular restaurant called Brown and something. Is it Brown and Bean? Yeah, Brown and Bean.
Brown
that's
and
right.
Bean.
Yeah.
I think I might have heard of that.
Okay.
I'm not sure, though.
And I think it's in Plymouth, right?
Uh-huh.
Michelin-starred cook.
Okay.
He triumphed on 2012's MasterChef, okay? And that's a show hosted by Greg Wallace, who we all know, okay? But anyway, this guy's restaurant down in Plymouth, guess what happens? You go in there, and you're sitting there, and then you've ordered, a set meal which has like 6 or 7 courses.
Yes.
Because they have little...
Like a tasting menu,
That's right, that sort of stuff, okay? So then what happens is, the waiter comes up to you and says, hold out your hand, please. You hold out your hand, and they put the food on the back of your hand.
What?
They put the food on the back of your hand.
What, you mean like a little sort of sample?
No, that is your helping for.
Well, that's ridiculous.
There are 7 courses,
right,
and they're served off the back of your hand.
Well, what are you supposed to do? Just lob it in your mouth?
Yes, yes.
That's mad.
No, literally.
That is ridiculous.
Literally.
This is foodiness gone mad, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got an eyewitness account. A lady called Christine Lumby from Plymouth says, I noticed before there was a lack of proper plates in some of the restaurants I've been to, but now I've seen it all. You go in, you sit there, the guy comes up, hold out your hand, they put it on the back of your hand.
But what if it's got a sort of a sort of a liquidy type sauce?
Well, it hasn't.
Run off?
It hasn't. I've got a picture here of a typical course put onto the back of a hand, and if you see, it's not like.
Oh yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that looks like ceviche or something.
Ceviche?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's sort of like it's raw fish basically.
Right.
It's
Okay.
sort of...
And the point is, I'm not sure for how many courses this goes on. But
what
I mean,
if you were having, say, spaghetti bolognese or something for
well,
a main course?
here, one reviewer called Louise. She must be a very famous reviewer because that's all she's called.
Oh, like Madonna, just the one
Yeah,
name.
that's right. Yeah, she says the first dish is a mouthful of burnt apple puree, which she squirts onto your hand, topped with pork. Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
A very novel idea. It tastes sensational.
Yeah.
It's a conversation starter, as I've never come across it before.
But then do you have to wipe your hand with a wipe then before the next course?
Yes.
A sort of palate cleanser type thing. Because you don't want any flavours infusing from the first dish.
Absolutely. And Miss Louise girl also says it's a fantastic way to dine because the plates don't get in the way of the general chatter around the table.
So when you're in the middle of talking, you just say, so Mike, I was just saying the other day, smash some food in my mouth with my hand.
But she says it's great because waiters are not permanently interrupting you by clattering plates and knives and forks in front of you and taking them away.
Well, they might as well just go one step further and have you lying there.
Yeah.
And they just fire it straight into your mouth, can't they?
Yeah, well...
Why bother putting it on the back of your hand?
Unbelievable, sorry. So anyway, I then go... I then go in search of, odd ways to serve food,
right,
which we've touched on before, but just to remind myself, and they do include restaurants that serve croquettes in a shoe.
Yeah. In a shoe?
In a shoe. They're in a trainer, you get a trainer and you put a wrapped serviette in the top of the trainer and you put your croquettes in there.
Okay.
Right?
I once went to an Ethiopian restaurant in New York.
Yeah.
And we sat at these they were sort of upturned barrels, really. Which were the tables.
Yeah.
And then they put like a massive big sort of naan bread.
Right, in the middle.
And just put all the food on that.
Yeah.
And you basically ate it.
By cutting a piece of naan bread and taking it with it.
But you didn't have any. But there were no utensils. You had to do it with your hand.
I hate.
I have to say, after having been there, I said it was no wonder they're all starving in Ethiopia.
Well, that's
it's
a very
some of the
cruel
worst
thing
food
to
that I've
say.
ever had.
That is very, very cruel thing to say.
Well, it was true though.
I'm sorry. I mean, that's as bad as.
Why?
That's as bad as the joke that was doing the rounds a few
not
years
a
ago.
joke.
What's the fastest thing?
Don't tell the joke.
I won't.
Don't.
I only tell it to make sure that people understand I don't do this sort of thing.
No, because then you will make it out as if you have done this sort of thing.
This
is my own joke. Why are you determined to do it?
I'm not.
You are.
I'm
You're
not
determined to tell it.
I'm not. The joke was
Don't tell
a
it.
joke.
So
and
you've done it now.
What?
No, that was that is not going to go out now.
No, well, I mean, it's disgraceful, those sort of things. But you just brought up the Ethiopian thing and said it's no wonder people are.
No, this was something that I said to my wife at the time after we went to this restaurant.
Yes,
okay?
well,
it wasn't a ridiculous joke.
Anyway, let me tell you, in another restaurant, Batatouille, whatever that is.
Is that the name of the restaurant?
No, Batatouille is the food.
Oh, okay.
And
what's that meant to be?
They say it's potato wedges served on a baseball bat. That's why it's called Batatouille.
Instead of ratatouille.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
baseball. See, this is all just a gimmick, isn't it?
Sorry, a table tennis bat.
Oh, a table tennis bat.
Yeah, what did I say?
You said a baseball bat.
No, a table tennis bat, I'm sorry. That's why it's called Batatouille.
Okay.
Well,
that makes a bit more sense. That's a bit more like a plate.
Yeah, another one...
But it's still not something I'd want.
Another novel, last course, head and cheese. That's bread and cheese served in a working man's cap.
Ugh.
Yeah.
They had stuff called head cheese, which was sold in a deli in America.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is like a kind of bologna.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, bologna, load of bologna. No.
Well, don't just keep saying, yes, that's right, when you're not listening to
Well,
me.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, you've never had head cheese. You don't know what it's like.
Apparently, there's one restaurant, right, which, absolutely no joke, serves you burgers on scales, so you can weigh how...
Scales?
Yeah, how much the food...
Not fish scales.
No, the scales that you use to, like, weigh flour and that kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Scales, okay.
Yeah, those kind of scales. And apparently it's so you can see how much it weighs when you start eating it and how much your food weighs when you've finished eating it, you know what I mean?
Well,
and all
it
that
doesn't
kind
weigh
of stuff.
anything if you eat it all, do you?
No.
Does it?
No.
What's the point of that?
Another one is they bring your sweet to you, if it's a cake or something like that, in a tin. Because they've cooked it in a tin in the oven, and it's, instead of a baking.
Oh, they mentioned
tin.
This other thing that people have been doing for years in pubs, where they give you the Sunday roast inside a massive Yorkshire pudding.
Yes, yeah, I've had that. Yeah, I've seen that. By the way, talking about that, I've got a fantastic piece of it's like a card. I'm very, very proud of this.
A card?
A card, yeah.
What sort of card?
Well, look at this. You see, there's a pub down in Stockbroker Boat which I've used for the last 3 days.
Collector card.
And look.
Collect a stamp every time you visit the bar.
Yes.
After 6 visits, claim a free pint of beer or cider of your choice.
So I'm owed a free pint now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes.
When did you get those?
2 a day for the last 3 days. When I've walked at the end of it, there's a pub at the end. Yeah.
You expect me to believe that?
Yeah.
You expect me to believe you didn't have them all in one session?
Absolutely not.
Well, what would have possessed you to have 2 and then move on?
Well, that's all I ever have. If I go for a walk across I have some lunch maybe and a couple of pints, and then I get home.
You've got to fill in your details on the back.
Fill in the details on the back, okay. But you know what? It's worth me buying a few free pints for people just to get my card up to 6, and then I got a free pint. You know what I mean?
What you mean? Well, it's worth buying pints for people if you want to buy them a pint.
Yeah, exactly.
But economically speaking, it's not.
This is fantastic.
Well, no, because we had one of these from. We get
we
them
did
all
at
the
a
time.
local pub. Yeah,
we get one from one of the.
But we never followed it through properly, did we?
Because we didn't go back there often.
That's
enough.
right. Yeah.
I mean, I've got about 50 of these things from various coffee shops.
Yeah, but I've got one filled in now. So this.
Well, so you can get a free pint. Big deal.
This piece of card in my hand means I get.
How much does a pint cost in this place?
£3.20p.
So it's a Wetherspoons.
No, it's not Wetherspoons, actually.
It's quite a cheap place, though.
No, it's not. It's
£3.20 is cheap for a pint.
Well, okay, maybe it is. I don't know, but I'm. This is fantastic. I mean, that is a bargain.
So you spent 19 quid,
yeah,
to get one free pint.
Well, yeah, but you spend it anyway, wouldn't you, if you're drinking beer?
Well,
it's a good place to be. Anyway,
I'm very happy for you.
I'll be spending that tomorrow to celebrate our award from last night.
So you'll go in with that and say, "Can I have my free pint?"
Yes,
please?
I will. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Can I have a table for one, which takes up 4 places?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and
definitely want one of those. Yes, probably.
Well, what about? You're working with me, don't you?
Hey,
we're working together tomorrow. So you can't do that until after we've done the show.
Yeah, I really meant Friday.
Oh, you mean
Saturday.
later today?
Later today. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, fair enough. Jolly good.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I'm very happy for you. I've got some news to tell you as well.
Oh, have you?
About
What's
the
about?
weekend. Well, I haven't got time right now.
Oh, right.
We are short of time.
Okay.
But we are the 2 mics. This is Talk Sport.
Indeed.
Say, no matter how many times you hear this song, it's still a great song, isn't it?
It is a great song, I agree.
So we keep it going until it gets to the big line?
No, I think not.
No, I think we should.
Oh, you can't.
You have no soul, do you?
I've got plenty of soul.
Incredible. Man. Not only do you have no heart, you have no soul. I mean, we're celebrating something here. You don't want to go all the way to the line?
It's up to you.
Why are you not excited by it?
Yeah, I'm very excited, but I don't want to, necessarily over.
Okay, don't talk over
the
it.
Pie.
I just thought we should get to that bit because it takes quite a long time to get there.
Yes.
Rob says this. Maybe the chef thought you ordered fish hand chips.
Fish and what?
Fish hand chips. Did you get
fish
it?
and chips. No.
Fish hand.
Oh, fish hand. I like that. Very good.
Fish hand
Thank you.
chips.
Thank you. Yeah.
Matt says this. I completely agree with Mike Parry. I'm not eating my dinner off the back of a lump of 2x4 timber.
Yeah.
Well, I've eaten off planks.
Thank
and
you.
actually, it's quite nice.
I don't. I think
not
it's
a problem.
terrible. Talking about all things food, right, now I have been the harbinger of doom when I've warned you about the shortage of things like...
yeah, can you remember?
Let me see.
They were green?
Yeah.
They had leaves.
They had leaves.
Yeah.
It wasn't cabbages.
No.
It was.
We got plenty of cabbages.
Yeah, it was.
We've got plenty of cauliflowers now as well.
Well, I was about to tell you that. Did you know that?
I did know because I read about it earlier.
Yeah, people are now being advised to get down to the greengrocers as quickly as possible and buy 2 or 3 cauliflowers for this weekend. This weekend being Mother's Day weekend.
You've got to bulk buy them?
Yeah, bulk buy them.
Why?
An early bumper crop.
Who's running the farming business in this world? They seem to be getting it all wrong.
No, here, an early bumper crop called the crop flush of cauliflowers has left farmers struggling to find buyers. It's that you...
are we sure these guys know what they're doing?
The price of cauliflower has dropped from £1 on Monday this week to 79p tomorrow.
Okay.
How about that?
Well, that's terribly exciting.
And as a result of which, our biggest high street retailer, Tesco, has stepped in with an offer to buy an extra 220,000 surplus cauliflowers.
Do you not think that this is all about manipulating the market? Do you not realise what is going on here?
No.
You know, because what we saw before when we had a shortage of spinach, we had a shortage of courgettes, we had a shortage of all manner of other sorts of vegetables.
See, courgettes, that was the one.
Yeah, you can't remember what it was though. Back in Spain, right? Yeah. We had reports from people in Spain saying there's no problem here at all.
Yes.
This is all about manipulating the market, charging loads and loads of money for something that they say there is a shortage of.
Yep.
Now they're suddenly worried because they've made too many that they want you to go and buy loads so they can put the price back up again.
Well,
it's very basic economics.
You say that, but I mean the issue here is that there's so many things you can do with cauliflower. For instance, do you like cauliflower cheese?
I love cauliflower.
I love
cheese.
it. I love cauliflower cheese. What about cauliflower when you add it to a curry? I think it's fantastic.
Well, you can make.
I love it.
You can put cauliflower in curry.
That's what I mean.
Very nice.
That's what I mean. So there's lots of things you can do with cauliflower.
What else can you do with it?
Well,
that's 2 things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what else would you do with it? You're supposed to be the master chef around here.
Somebody was asking you the other day. What do you think about this plan that people are using cauliflower as a base for pizza?
Oh yes.
I mean, that's one of the things you can do.
Not terribly keen on that.
Not terribly keen on that.
No,
you can steam it and just have it, on its own. You can mix it with all sorts of different sauces.
Yes,
if you wish.
you can.
I mean, it's a very versatile food.
Certainly is.
You've just got to be very careful not to You eat it raw, actually. You put it in salad as well.
It's
quite nice raw.
Well, you say that, but I think most things taste better cooked rather than raw. When I was a kid, I was, people went through this phase of eating blinking carrots, raw.
Carrots? Yeah, raw carrots are good for you.
Oh, they might be good for you, but they taste awful.
No,
Same with potatoes.
It tastes really nice.
Eat raw potato. What would you want to eat raw potato
Well, I wouldn't
for?
eat a raw potato. No. That's not very good for you.
I wouldn't eat a raw carrot either. There's no need to.
Raw carrots are very good. Have you never had crudités?
I'm not sure what they are. What's that?
Well, that's when you go into a restaurant and sometimes they will give you, or you can do them at home.
Yes.
Is you can have a couple of little dips and you can have raw vegetables.
Sounds great.
Dip in, like little bits of pepper.
Sounds
little
great.
bits of carrot. Little bits of broccoli.
Yeah.
And you dip them in a variety of different dips, like a blue cheese dressing if you like, or maybe dip them in some oil and vinegar.
Right,
Very
okay.
nice.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Did you mention Spain for a minute there ago?
I mentioned Spain because that was where the shortage of vegetables was meant to be.
I see, okay.
That was where they ran out of courgettes, apparently.
Because I was reading some of my European journals today, and the head of the Eurozone Finance Ministers Group, right, who's looking at, finance within the EU, he's been asked to resign because he accused southern European countries, that's like Greece and Spain and something like that, he says, of wasting vast amounts of money on booze and women.
Who's this guy?
This guy he's a top European guy. His name is Jeroen Dijsselbloem.
Oh, okay.
Dijsselbloem.
Was he French or German or something?
I'll find that out in a minute. But he's been criticised being racist, xenophobic and sexist by Antonio Costa, Portugal's Prime Minister, who urged him to stand down. He said Europe will only be credible as a common project on the day where Mr. Dijsselbloem stops being head of the Eurogroup and apologises clearly to all the countries and peoples that were profoundly offended by his remarks.
Has he said them in, like, the European Commission forum?
No, he said them in a written paper.
Oh, okay.
He's head of the Eurogroup, and he oversees the painful EU bailouts of countries such as Greece and Cyprus, right?
Yeah.
So during the course of undergoing this exercise, he said in an interview with the German newspaper Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung...
I know that one, yeah.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah.
It's one of Germany's biggest papers.
It is.
He said that the southern Eurozone countries have wasted a lot of money. This has caused considerable irritation. He has claimed he was misquoted. The interview that was published said, I can't spend all my money on booze and women and then ask for your support, can I? This principle holds at personal, local and national and even European level among some of the countries I have to deal with.
Well, one of the problems with the European Union in general, I would have thought, is that a lot of them don't get on with each other. And there is no doubt quite a bit of discrimination between the ones who are supposedly wealthy and the ones who are supposedly not wealthy.
That's absolutely right.
But it's the fault of the wealthy ones for getting the non-wealthy ones in the first place, isn't it?
Well, the idea that we can all exist on one currency is why Greece is in the terrible mess it's in today, because it wasn't able to adjust its own currency to world factors that control, what Greece can do and can't do.
But I mean, also, they completely... They got Goldman Sachs in to gerrymander the qualifications that they supposedly were going to make because they were so desperate to get them in.
That's right.
And now that they can't afford to stay in, they're giving them a hard time.
That's right. Matteo Renzi, who is the former Italian Prime Minister, said, comments such as this are stupid jokes. It's time Mr. Dijsselbloem moved on. The sooner he resigns, the better. He can't go around insulting countries like this.
Yeah, of course you can't.
Yeah.
It's a terribly politically correct world in which we live, right?
A lot of it, what he says, of course, is all about the Greek situation. I've been to Greece and I've seen this happen. People have told me about it. The wealthy Greek people somehow managed to pay like hardly any tax. And you might say, well, that's, a worldwide phenomenon. Yes, it is.
Yeah, but they were particularly good at not paying
They're particularly good at it.
And retiring at the age of 50 and stuff.
Oh,
right?
I mean, half of the workforce in Greece, you're absolutely right, they kind of retired by the time of their sort of 48, and they're on great state pensions, something like 60% of whatever their salary was when they were working when they were 47, if you see what I mean.
Right.
And so where did they get the money from to pay for that?
And that all suddenly came to pass that they couldn't do it anymore.
They couldn't do it anymore. And then the rest of the Greek nation don't like working anyway, so they expect handouts from the government to allow them to lie around in squares in the middle of Athens all day doing nothing.
Well, I know they lie around in squares. A lot of them are actually demonstrating.
Yeah, well, some of them demonstrate as well.
Chucking petrol bombs.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and by the way, if people think I'm being harsh about Greece, I'm sorry.
Well, you're going there soon, aren't you?
I'm going there soon, yeah. That was only my impression of being there on my most recent visit.
I see.
Were
you one of the people lying around in a square?
No, but I saw a lot of people who were. The stuffing's been knocked out of the Greek people because the economy has been battered beyond repair by the ridiculously rigid rules of membership of the European project.
Yes, indeed. Now, funnily enough, talking about that, we're going to talk serious stuff coming up next. Chris Sampson's going to join us. He's the Chief Terrorism and Cyber Researcher for the Terror Asymmetrics Project.
Yes.
He's going to give us a perspective from the United States of America on some of the news that came out yesterday. I mean, I was delighted to see, for example, that the Westminster Bridge was reopened less than 24 hours since the actual attack.
Yeah, that was great, because there must have been an awful lot of forensic evidence they need to scoop up off the pavement and the road and all that kind of stuff. So they did a brilliant job there.
But they managed to do that. The number of dead in Wednesday's atrocity has now gone up to 5, including the attacker, who has been named as a man by the name of Khalid Massoud. But, of course, he was not born with that name. He was born with a very, very different name.
That's right.
In Dartford in Kent.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk to Chris about that, about the new phenomenon, perhaps, of a 52-year-old man, because he's not exactly young and impressionable at the age of 52.
No.
But what he is, as I was suggesting last night, is a career criminal.
Sort of
He's a
lone
guy
nutter,
for 20 years has been committing crime.
Yes.
So he's not really, any kind of evangelist. He's not any kind of, extremist with a view in politics. He's just a criminal. Simple as that.
Remember the dreadful Stirling school massacre?
Yes.
Which was carried out by a guy called... Do you remember his name? I can. He was a bespectacled guy with a bald head. Dunblane, yeah. I'll remember his name.
Hamilton, wasn't it?
Hamilton, yeah. I think it was Hamilton. And the reason he turned mass murderer was because he felt rejected by the rest of the school community and he wasn't being allowed to do things.
Right.
So he took it out on innocent children.
Yeah.
And you get the feeling that this guy might have decided he had a grudge against society and he'd just take it out on people on the pavement while he, while he roared his car along the pavement.
Yeah.
You get the feeling that that was more of a motive than any sort of political...
Yeah, this is not a man who's driven by, let's have an Islamic State somewhere in the middle of the Middle East.
Yes.
It's absolute rubbish. But anyway, let's find out what Chris Sampson's got to do. He's coming up next on TalkSport.
Yesterday, an act of terrorism tried to silence our democracy. But today we meet as normal, as generations have done before us and as future generations will continue to do, to deliver a simple message. We are not afraid, and our resolve will never waver in the face of terrorism. P.C. Palmer had devoted his life to the service of his country. He had been a member of the Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection Command for 15 years, and a soldier in the Royal Artillery before that. He was a husband and a father, killed doing a job he loved. He was every inch a hero.
That was Theresa May, the Prime Minister, there talking about the one of the victims, of course, the member of the Police Protection Services.
Yes, that's right.
Who was unarmed. Let's talk to Chris Sampson now, Chief Terrorism and Cyber Researcher for the Terror Asymmetrics Project, to find out what we're learning about perhaps this new form of terrorism. Chris, very good morning to you. Welcome to the show. Are you there, Chris?
Right. That line doesn't seem to have come up just yet. I'm sure it will.
Working. We'll get him back in a second.
Yeah, he's Chief Terrorism and Cyber Researcher for the Terror Asymmetrics Project, and
let's see if he's there now.
Obviously has a view on these things.
Yeah, Chris, you there?
Yes, I am. How are you guys?
Hi, Chris.
Very well. Sorry, we couldn't hear you the first time.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
The discovery of this guy, Masood, whose name was finally released in the last few hours, I guess. 52 years old, Khalid Masood, a man with several aliases, a man who spent most of his life as a sort of, well, you might not say a petty criminal, but certainly committing criminal offences with a criminal record as about 20 years long, as long as your arm. Said to now be a religious convert to Islam. I mean, this is a new, slightly new flavour of terrorist, isn't it?
Well, not exactly. There are plenty of people, like if we look at the case from Nice, France, you can see that the man had also a criminal record and a penchant for violence, of being right there on the fringe of society, you know, so he had to work a job related to that behavior, etc. If we look at the behavior of this man, again, as you pointed out, originally from Kent, but raised in, or living in Birmingham. He's as a common criminal for 20 years with assault, disturbing the peace, etc. on his record. But the question would be why he turned, and we won't really know that yet. However, we can look at other cases where you have people who are profiled pretty similar to him. And if there's not a way to be involved in society, it's also a very good route to devastation.
Sure. My colleague here, I think, Chris, was sort of pointing out that if you're going to smuggle weapons into a particular area to try and start some sort of atrocity, or bombs, or car bombs, then you need a much greater amount of organisation and skill and people. I mean an evil skill, obviously, and constructing bombs. You need a lot more of that than if you just suddenly decide to drive a car 40 miles outside of London into London, then mount a pavement, then mow people down. I mean, it's that sort of crime which is so difficult, so terribly difficult to predict and to anticipate, isn't it?
True, and we call that vehicle as weapons attack. So if you look at some of the cases out of Palestine, there are cases of vehicle as weapons attack. Why?
Right.
Because it's hard for them to gather weapons.
Yeah.
But if you have a car or a truck, you can do this. Now, some people have associated this man with ISIS already, which is fine. He may have been affected by ISIS propaganda. But AQAP, Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, and their magazine, Inspire, in the second edition used a American Ford pickup truck and called it the best mower to be used. So this concept of using a vehicle or using basically improvised weapons of any kind is something that they have been promoting for several years now. It's something that Al-Qaeda has been promoting as well as ISIS.
They have been, but it's a move away. I mean, I guess I'm not making out that this is the first time we've seen it, obviously. Yeah. In fact, I think just a few hours ago in Antwerp, yet another case was stopped by the police over in that part of the world. But what I guess I'm saying is that these are not young, disillusioned men who are from Western countries where they were born, who are being taken to perhaps some kind of caliphate where they're being trained to fight as actual soldiers. This is a guy who was maybe inspired by something he saw on the internet. Yeah. And I mean, potentially there's thousands of these people.
Yeah, and it would be very interesting in my case. My job is often to read the depositions and inquiry to see what takes each one of them and makes them change. Because if you have a person who's been conducting himself along a fringe for a while, that's one thing. But what would make him convert all the way to go to ISIS? So as you mentioned, there are young people who their reasons will be more idealistic in a way that young people tend to be. You know, I'm a former young person, as are you. But when you grow older, if you're 52 years old and you still can't fit in society, then I don't know what you're going to do.
When these things happen, Chris, do we have a team of people anywhere in the world who suddenly say, right, I know how we can stop this, and then we invent a device which pointed at a car, and you pull the trigger, and it cuts the engine of the car out, so that all propulsion in the car is lost. Is that sort of thing going on today, that we're trying to get ahead of them all the time?
Yeah, as a cyber guy, I could say that that's something that we recently talked on BBC about with the CIA tools. You know, what can you do if you can control the computer chip in a car?
Yeah.
I don't think, if you look at the situation, I don't think you'll find the equivalent of an EMP device for cars. So is it possible?
Yeah.
I think in the future it could be possible, but I think we're a long way away from there. I think we can look at a few things here. In America, it's slightly different when it comes to enclave behavior. And I know that it was a very big point of friction when Fox News here was talking about places in England you couldn't go, like Birmingham, which is not true.
No,
clearly,
it's not
right?
true. Not true.
But if we take and look at a comparison between England and other parts of Europe where it becomes even more enclave-like, then we can see that there are ways in which we can interact with the society so that the local mosque and the local Muslim organizations are more integrated into the society. And that's really the number one way you're going to stop recruitment. You have to basically create an area for people to be included, because the number one way that ISIS and Al-Qaeda recruit is the disaffected person. They basically say, hey, look, they don't like you, but we are on your side. Or the second thing they do is guilt trip you. So, are you being a good Muslim? Are you working with the kuffar? Are you working with the disbeliever? And see, how can that work on somebody? If the person who, let's say you and me, who are maybe not Muslim, if we validate that lie, you know, if we say, hey, I don't like you because you're Muslim, well, actually, in a way, we've aided ISIS and Al-Qaeda. ISIS is much more metastasized than Al-Qaeda on this level, too. They very specifically put out videos, audio clips, and pamphlets nonstop that basically point out the division between these two. And what they really, really want us as Westerners to do is alienate more Muslims. The more we do it, the more... And it seems like what they used to call the Chinese finger cuffs trick, where you have to outthink your instinct to push and pull and do something very logical instead of something very emotionally impulsive.
But it is a very zero-sum game in the end, isn't it? Because, I mean, depending on which side of the political fence you are on, you will agree that actually doing nothing is a good thing, or you will say, well, perhaps we should be more inclusive to Muslim populations in lots of parts of Britain. Many people don't want that, and many people would say that that's the wrong way to go. And also, you can then go the other way and say that we're going to encourage people to be very unfriendly to Muslims in general, which is hardly what anybody does, really. But on the front page of some of the papers this morning, they're looking at something like Google, for example, who apparently is very easy to find a terror manual on how to use a car for mass murder on Google. It says it took them 2 minutes on the internet to find instructions on how to do that. I mean, it seems to me that, I was saying this yesterday to my broadcasting partner here, Mike, that, you know, some of these guys maybe need to be treated less like terrorists and more like criminals, so that, in fact, they haven't got a cause anymore as much as they have just got some kind of an illness which causes them to want to kill people for some stupid reason.
And actually, I think you bring up a good point. I often approach the world personally with a sense of what I call sane normality. Like, I know there are people who maybe don't see the world like I do, but I assume some sense of normality. So when I run into someone who clearly is not operating in that sphere, I have to rethink everything that I've assumed about how we interact. And this includes people who have a penchant for criminality. I'm not operating in the world the way they are. So I have to escape my way of looking at the world in a sort of idealistic way that everyone plays by the rules up to a point, and start thinking more like, what would make me want to lash out? What would make me want to recruit? And what I do is, in the case of ISIS, is I really pay attention to, like I said, a couple things. Depositions, meaning what did the communications look like between recruiter and the target that they recruited, regardless of age. I look at cases out of Iraq during the early parts of the Iraq War, when interrogators would catch bomb wiring people, and they didn't always cut into a terrorist mold. Sometimes they were in a compromised position of, you're not working for me, and I have to work for my family, so I have to do this. And they justify it. And they're not ideologically driven, they're more practically driven. The more you start breaking these divisions down into looking what drives certain people to do the wrong thing, then you had to start coming up with remedies that, basically run the span between law enforcement, media, community development, and leadership within your elected officials. So there's a wide range of what you want to do.
But not much of any of that has really been done, I suppose, in recent years. But there will be those who will tell you in this country, and I've seen people being interviewed over the last couple of days, who are running all kinds of programs through mosques. They're running all sorts of programs with disaffected youth, trying to make sure that they don't feel as if, they're being alienated. But in the end, people feel alienated. Sometimes there's not much you can do about that. I've always said if somebody's got the sort of the thought in their head to hit an old lady over the head with an iron bar to steal her purse, that person can't be rehabilitated because they thought of doing that in the first place.
And we can clearly look at examples in all sorts of violent criminality that won't fall into the disaffected category. Some people simply have bad wiring for lack of. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a counterterror investigator of sorts. But when I look at the cases, both in England, throughout Europe, and in the United States, the number one thing that I can see in them is a sort of mental disposition that is, I don't belong into society. The society owes me something. And a lot of times gang affiliation, terrorists look for these weaknesses in character to prey upon so that they can find out a way in. Because if I can, for instance, when I was a youth, if someone had come up to me at just the right angle and said, hey, I'll listen to you, and they had been a malicious person, who knows what I would have turned out. I got lucky.
You might have ended up
never had such a person.
You might have ended up some kind of evil cat in the background that keeps trying to get on the
radio.
Right,
exactly. Evil cat, right.
Yeah. Listen, Chris, thank you very much indeed. We're out of time, but we'll have to leave it there. Chris Sampson there, Chief Terrorism and Cyber Researcher for the Terror Asymmetrics Project, talking about how people are going to have to change the way they view these things, really, in order to stop them happening again. This is TalkSport. Good morning, I'm Mike Graham, he's Mike Parry. You're listening to the award-winning Two Mics on TalkSport and Talk Radio. We've got loads more coming up in this hour. We're going to be going across to the United States of America. We're going to find out what is expected at the big weekend in the Formula One down in Melbourne in Australia. And, of course, it's Porky quiz time as well. And it's on the Masters, which is just 10 days away. The first major of the season. 08717 223344. You're listening to the Two Mics with me, Mike Graham, and Mike Parry on Talk Sport. Now, there's plenty going on in the papers about what happened over the last couple of days in Westminster, but it is, of course, International Break Week as well.
Is.
So, should we have a quick look and see what's being said about the big game coming up between
I tell you what,
Southgate's massively new England formation team and Lithuania?
Well, that's right, that's on Saturday. But before that, of course, tonight you've got this, what I'd call, this Battle of Britain, haven't you?
Battle of Britain?
Yeah.
What, you mean Ireland against Wales?
Yeah,
it's not really Britain.
Well, Ireland's not Britain, but it's in the British Isles, as we've established before on this show.
But politically, no. Yeah. It's a very, sort of, shall we say, flaky subject.
Well, we'll call it the Battle of the British Isles then, shall we? That makes it.
But I don't think many people in the Republic of Ireland would enjoy that.
Yeah, well, okay, but that's the way I'm describing it geographically. Right. Wales and of course, Wales and Ireland are both of the Celtic brethren, so to speak. You know what I mean?
You could
so
say
they have a lot in common.
How about a home nation? I know that's almost as bad of a term, but people tend to call it that, don't they?
Well, I don't think Ireland's one of the home nations.
Well, they're not. But people say. But when people talk about, when the World Cup's on or the Euros are on, I always support any home nation, and they include the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, I think they probably do. Well, I think it's a term of affection, really. Right. We believe ourselves to be very close to the Irish. That's why loads of people in this country celebrate St Patrick's Day, but don't even bother celebrating St George's Day.
But you're not one of them. By the way, what did you make of old Bill Clinton turning up at McGuinness's funeral?
Amazing. I was absolutely astonished. I know that he sees himself as one of the architects of the Good Friday Agreement with Tony Blair, and there was a big controversy when he first shook hands with Adams. Jerry Adams, when Jerry Adams went over to Washington one time, he met him at the White House. But I was astonished to see a former president of the United States, a man who still holds the title President Clinton, to turn up at that funeral, I have to say.
And one of the interesting things that happened as well, it seems to me, and I didn't see it, but it was described as I was watching the coverage of it, was that Jerry Adams apparently took Bill Clinton to McGuinness's family and introduced him to them.
I know.
as if presumably they'd never met before.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not being judgmental here because, by the way, the reports on the death of Martin McGuinness range from extreme in the sense of Lord Tebbit calling him, a cold-blooded killer, and a
coward,
and a coward, to the other extreme where some people, including some people in our business, have sent out tweets saying, a remarkable man who led such a interesting life and all that kind of stuff, which is not the way a lot of people see it.
No.
But anyway, getting back to this game, right, between Wales and Ireland. What is interesting, what I found out is that Chris Coleman was so distraught when England beat him in the Euro Championships last year, where they did better than us in the end, if you see what I mean. What year was it? 2016, that's right. Yeah, last year.
What, you mean he was distraught at the England result, not at the rest of the results?
Distraught at the England result, because, of course, he thought they were all conquering at the time. He goes back to his hotel room in Brittany and broke his own booze ban. He screwed the top off a bottle of whiskey and served himself a large Scotch, a large Irish whiskey. He drowned his sorrows with a double Irish whiskey out on the balcony of his hotel room in Brittany.
Oh, yeah.
So distraught was he at the defeat. However, that must have been a very good way to have placated the disappointment, because he went on, of course, to get a series of better results in England and come out of the competition in third place, didn't he?
He certainly did,
yeah. Exactly.
Well, they did an awful lot better than anybody expected.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's quite a lot of coverage this morning from all sorts of angles, including one from Johnny Giles, where he says that Gareth Bale is not yet among the greats.
Yes.
And this is thought to be enough to sort of fire up Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
To do. And they've got Seamus Coleman against Gareth Bale as one of the matchups, right?
That's right.
They've got Jeff Hendrick versus Joe Allen.
Yeah.
And they've got Shane Long versus Ashley Williams.
Yeah. A lot of interest there, particularly in Seamus Coleman, captain of Ireland.
You'd have to say it's a much more interesting game than England-Lithuania.
Yeah, of course it is. Because it's a competitive game. England-Lithuania should be a massacre. It should be 5 or 6-0. In fact, I have actually said, put it on record to try and raise money for charity, that at least 3 different England players will score against Lithuania.
Is that right?
Okay?
Yeah. Well, you may well be right, and let's hope that the charity benefits in such a good way.
Absolutely. Now, what some commentators are saying is that this game is vital to Chris Coleman. I'm talking about the Republic of Ireland versus Wales, which kicks off at 7:45 tonight. It is vital to Chris Coleman because if he suffers a reverse in this one, then the Chris Coleman bubble has truly burst.
Has it?
I mean, well, already they're struggling, aren't they? I mean, they're in third place in the group. You've got Republic of Ireland at the top with 10 points. You've got Serbia second on 8, and then Wales on 6, having achieved only 1 victory and 3 draws, OK?
Are you sure about that?
I'm certain about that, yeah.
Because, I mean, it's quite early days, isn't it, though?
Well, it is quite early days, but the point is, you see, I said at the time, and this is psychologically now, after the fantastic job he did in the Euros, Chris Coleman, that was the time then, because he was of maximum value, to seek a Premier League club. There were opportunities last summer, and I thought that's when he should have gone.
Yeah.
And the problem is now that if this is a disappointing competition, if they don't seem as though they're going to qualify over the summer this year, his value is not as high as it was last year. So purely on a human basis and on a very much self-centred basis, I think Chris Coleman was extremely brave to take on another tournament with Ireland, knowing it was going to, with Wales as boss of Wales, knowing it was going to be so difficult, if not impossible, to achieve the things he achieved last year.
And also, he has been sort of mentioned in passing or in dispatches, as we sometimes say, in various club jobs.
Yeah, of course he has,
When club jobs have come up. In fact,
absolutely.
when the Swansea job came up, there was a possibility that he was in for that. And I think he was mentioned as well in one other... was it? I can't remember whether it was a Middlesbrough job or something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But he's always been
sure
relatively short odds. So I mean, if he wanted to get into Premier League football, he had a couple of opportunities.
That's what I'm saying. And personally, I would have taken them. But then perhaps I'm a more selfish man. Well,
maybe there's a reason why he doesn't want to do that.
Well, he bonded himself to the whole Welsh nation. He bonded himself to the Football Association of Wales. I mean, he'd become a critical figure in the culture of Wales, the country, and done a fantastic job. And of course, it's very hard to walk away from that. But you've got to be pragmatic about the timing of these sort of things. And time will tell whether he got it right or wrong.
Yeah, and you think
but
Ireland...
he's still a great manager. He will still get a very good job at some other club somewhere.
And you think Ireland are going to be a better team than Wales in this campaign then?
Well, I'm not saying that, but their track record at the moment is they've won 3 and drawn 1.
Yeah.
So they're on a bit of a roll. They feel extremely confident. The relationship between Martin O'Neill and Roy Keane seems to be working, which I couldn't see working. I thought Roy Keane was just far too individualistic and too explosive a man and too unwilling to look on anybody else as a superior. You know, that's what I thought of Roy Keane, but it seems to be working because they've come up with a raft of great results and they're leading a strong group.
Yeah. Now, as for the other stories in the papers, aside from that, there's quite a lot about the FA supposedly going to act over England fans' disgraceful behaviour in Germany, where apparently in the Dortmund game they were doing all sorts of ridiculous, singing those stupid World War II songs, doing Nazi salutes. I mean, what is wrong with these guys? What is wrong with them?
The most disappointing aspect of that is that we always knew there were people like that amongst the England travelling fans. And I travelled with England for about 3 or 4 years.
Can they not stop them from travelling, though?
If they can identify them, that's always the problem. And you go to some places where, identification procedures are not as good as ours. But no, the most disappointing thing about this is that there's been a new intake of fans who've joined the England Travel Club. That's the official body.
Oh, well, younger kids, you mean?
Yeah, younger people. Yeah. And they apparently were largely, or a lot of them were responsible for being involved in this sort of behaviour.
Okay.
So what we think is happening is that far from wheedling out the tiny minority of those kind of potential troublemakers who already existed, it looks like their number's been added to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Looking at this story, certainly in the Times, it says that certainly a small number of the England supporters among the 3,200 who travelled with the FA's England Supporters Club that were seen making Nazi salutes were filmed by UK police spotters, and they are supposedly confident of identifying them after reviewing the video footage. So they've already got more than 2,000. They've already got more than 2,000 banning orders on some of the older ones that you're talking about.
But they go back 10 years.
Yes. Yeah. So hopefully they will stop, because it's embarrassing apart from anything else, I mean, I can't imagine what would go through the mind of someone who thinks this is a great idea. Yeah. I mean, whatever you may think of whatever happened many, many years ago, it's a football match,
It is a football match. I'll tell you what's very interesting. Neil Ashton, who, is a leading, obviously leading Fleet Street writer and commentator on football. And indeed
TalkSport host. He came on after us, I think, last Sunday, didn't
Absolutely, I was about to say. And a colleague here at TalkSport, who hosts a terrific show on a Sunday evening. He's said, without any, without pulling any punches, it's a pity Southgate didn't speak up like FA chief Greg, what's his name? Greg Clark, yeah. And he says, finally the FA are on the front foot. They've taken control with the issue of supporter behaviour top of the agenda again after another embarrassing night for English football. Good on Greg Clark, chairman of the FA, showing some leadership. Somebody had to take a firm grip after English supporters. We can do without the chants, the damn buses and all that. But where the FA lead, others must follow. Football sports very good. But then he goes on to say he thinks it would have been better if Gareth Southgate had spoken up in the same sort of vocal ways as his chairman and made it clear that these people will never be welcome in the England camp or should be attached to anything to do with the international team, the international squad and the international travelling fans.
Yeah, well, let's hope they get to them before they end up travelling to Russia for the World Cup. Yeah. But lots more to come, including the Porky quiz, of course, which is on the Masters. This is TalkSport. That's a great song as well, isn't it? Playing some very good music tonight.
Absolutely.
Now, how about this from...
Why are we playing that song? Can you remind me?
Because we just won an award.
We just won an award?
Yeah.
What award did we win?
We've won the IRN News Award.
We have.
For Best Special on our US election coverage.
On the night that Donald Trump took over as the 45th President of the United States.
Exactly right, yes. Yeah. So thank you very much indeed to the people who voted us and to everyone that listens.
Indeed, yeah.
Really. Now, you were talking about eating off your hand, right?
Yes.
Here's a bit of information for you from UPOT, who says the reason for food served on the hand is some chefs believe the best way to eat food is off your own skin because of the skin's neutral taste.
Really?
Now, you see, skin doesn't have a neutral taste to me.
No, but a plate has a neutral taste to me.
A plate does.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why
they ceramic
prefer...
plate.
And that's why they use plank sometimes, because they feel that gives a different texture to the food.
Not for me, thanks.
I mean, we went to the Sports Bar and Grill
not
long ago.
Yes.
And had a cheeseburger there. That came on a plank. You didn't object. You didn't say bring me
Did
this.
it come on a plank?
Yeah, you didn't say bring me this.
Yeah,
on a
but
plank.
I mean, the guy who runs it is a mate of ours, Dave. I wasn't going to start making trouble for his waiters or waitresses, was I?
Well,
no,
you don't. It doesn't
No.
normally stop you.
No. Down on the coast, I was once served on a rather a decorative plank. You know, it wasn't just a straight plank. It was.
Decorative plank?
Yeah, it was in the shape of the United Kingdom.
What?
Yeah, it was.
Well,
Yeah,
a plank in the shape
Yeah,
of the
it
British
was, yeah.
Isles.
Yes, it was.
Was Ireland in it?
No, it wasn't. No. And well,
We've
it's
had
not.
a few tweets from people saying, "Don't be so ridiculous. It is not part of Britain."
It's part of the British
Don't
Isles.
keep
We've
going
had
on
that
about
discussion,
that.
and we're
No,
not
I
going
know.
to say it again.
Well, JHA says, "Come to McGuinness's funeral and say that."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't. I said it's part of the British Isles, which it is, the physical island of Ireland. Now, I've got one here. It says,
Yes.
chap here says, don't know what his name is, but he
Why
calls
don't you
himself...
know his name?
He calls himself Wrong Star, so that's obviously not his
Wrongstar,
name.
that's
yeah.
his Twitter handle,
That's right, yeah. And he says, wow, this brown and bean is just 2 miles from me. I have to go back there for a backhander.
Very good, yes.
A report back. Yeah, very good indeed, mate. Well done.
Yes.
And he's also saying, I'm starting to think that Porky scaremongering with all these various vegetables is a plan to manipulate the markets in his benefit.
Well, I wouldn't
Trying to make
surprise
out
me.
that I'm some sort of international, grocer crook
Well, you
who's
are.
manipulating
Well,
the
you-
supply
but-
of cabbages
well,
and things.
Well, you revealed only yesterday,
Yeah.
did you not, that you are a massive shareholder in all of the utility companies in this country?
No, not
and
massive.
One of the reasons that you're in great support of the fact that they continue to gouge the
Yes.
consumer
Yes.
is because you keep making a profit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's shocking.
And Maxwell Silverhammer, he's a chap who's a regular correspondent.
Yeah.
He says, the minute he heard me announce that the cauliflowers had gone down to 79p, he stashed out and bought 21. And he's got pictures of all 21 here, which is very good.
Yeah, you see, that is
Yeah.
just the wrong kind of behaviour. Because
Yes.
a lot of these cauliflowers that people buy will end up in the bin.
Yeah.
And it will end up as waste food.
Well, Sean here, so if you want a sort of a hint on that one, he says, my wife always puts cauliflower and broccoli in mashed potato, and it tastes beautiful. I
Okay.
think that would be. I'd love a bit of...
Cauliflower
Oh,
and broccoli.
cauliflower potato sounds brilliant to me.
Somebody else has suggested the cauliflower and Stilton soup, which normally
Yes.
you'll have had broccoli and Stilton soup, which is nice, but,
Yes.
but cauliflower and Stilton soup.
Oh,
probably
I'd love
nice
that
too.
as well. And Leon here says, really liking the music tonight, boys. You're not rubbing it in by any chance, are you? Well, he's probably heard that we were up against a production from 5 Live, which is one of our rival shows, and we took away the trophy.
Yes, I'm not sure if that's true, actually.
What?
That we were up against a production from 5 Live.
Oh, were we not?
Well, I don't know that we would have been, because it's the
Okay.
IRN Awards, so I don't think it includes anything from
Independent
the BBC.
Radio News. Yeah, I beg your pardon.
I don't want to give the wrong impression.
No, I will withdraw that. We went up against them from 5 Live, but we're up against a production
Other commercial stations.
from a big commercial station in the northwest of England, I
Yes.
do know. And Gerard here very kindly says, well done on the award, the best show on TalkSport, looking forward to the podcast. Well, thank you. We don't like reading those out, but we do occasionally, because if you're good enough to send them in, then we will occasionally read one out, even if it is to our benefit. Now, I have news.
Hang on, before you go any further,
Yes.
while we're on the subject, because we haven't done any of this, there's a guy called Darren whose birthday it is, and he'd like you to give him a message, right?
Okay.
And this is from Darren, who says, it's hard times for merriment in London, but it's my birthday today. I'm 42, so can I have some kind words from the plank, Mr. Parry?
Okay, Darren, you are 42. I will tell you what to do. Go out and find a Boozer Supreme and bladderate in your dreams.
Very good.
Very happy birthday.
Well done.
Okay.
Here's one from Paul, who says, hi, chaps, I've listened to every single show. Can I get a shout-out for my 40th birthday, which is on Friday?
Yeah.
P.S. I'll send a tenner to Postman Pork.
Okay, what's this chap's name?
His name is Paul.
Paul. Okay, well, Paul, I say to you, celebrate your birthday through and through. You've got to remember...
Why are you doing it all in verse?
I just thought I would, You've got to remember you're 40 now, so bladderate and meow, 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 okay?
Right.
Yeah.
If I give you one more, could you not do it in verse,
All right.
please?
Okay.
This is from Izzy, who says, could you please wish my husband Jason a happy 44th birthday for the 24th of March? Need some nice wishes on such a shocking day.
Okay, Jason, I wish you a very happy birthday. How old is he? 44?
44, I believe.
44 on the 24th of March, is it?
Yes.
Okay, the 24th of March is in fact today.
It's Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, excellent. Friday the 24th of March, you're 44 today. That means it's always great to have a birthday on a Friday, Jason, because you can have a bladderation session tonight and you can keep it going until Sunday lunchtime at least. So have a great weekend.
See, that reveals a bit more about your lifestyle than you probably should reveal.
Now,
Now you've got something else to tell me.
well, yes, I'm going to give you an update on a very important issue, which has been picked up by many of the people who listen to us, the millions, who have led to us getting that award. Now, I took the advice of the upholsterer.
Which upholsterer? What? Alf? Was it Alf, wasn't it?
No, Alf was the one whose dog died.
Oh, right, okay.
This was another one that said, look,
oh, well, there was a guy who tweeted us who said he could come and do it in 2 hours.
Was there?
Yeah, yesterday on the show.
Was there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know where he lives, though. But anyway...
Well, he knows where you live.
So I took up the instructions of the guy that I went to see, OK?
Right.
And what he wanted a picture of the chair standing on its 4 legs, and then he said, can you tip it backwards and take a picture of the underneath of the chair?
Upside down.
Now, to my absolute amazement...
Yeah.
I put the chair back on the floor, took a picture of it, and guess what I discovered?
I don't know.
A spring sticking through the bottom of the chair.
A spring had sprung.
A spring had sprung, and it's actually ripped the, whatever the material on the bottom of the chair is.
Have you got a picture of this?
I've got a picture of it.
You're going to put it out?
I'm going to put it out now.
Okay.
Because it will show people exactly what the problem is.
Yeah.
And in future, if you have a problem with your chair, you'll be able to identify this problem from my picture, because it shows a spring sticking through the bottom. Now, I didn't know there was a spring sticking out. I thought a strap had broken or something like that. This now...
And so what's the effect when you sit on the chair, then? Does it just sink, or does it not have any bounce to it? What?
I can only sit on the edge. I must not sit in the middle.
Why?
Because the spring has gone in the middle. So,
so I'm asking what the effect is, then. Does it just not have any bounce, then? Or?
No, it's just not as supportive as it would be in the middle. It sags a bit, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But anyway, look, the point is, I'm going to put this out, and the reason I'm putting this out is you will in future be able to detect whether or not you have a broken spring in your chair. Very expensive chair, by the way.
Most people would have turned their chair over to have a look at that, wouldn't they?
I wouldn't have done that. I'd have thought, well, it's something internally. I didn't know that the spring had actually sprung out. And, of course, this has now gone to the said upholsterer, who is now analysing the issue.
All right. He's putting the diagnostics on it, is he?
Yes, that's right. And he's analysing with his top chair repairer,
right,
as he said to me. They're examining the pictures, as you would, and they're going to...
Oh, so he hasn't got the chair yet, he's just got the pictures.
Yeah, that's right. And he's going to arrive he might arrive in my place with the right set of tools.
Because this was the big issue yesterday, was how many tools...
How many tools do you need?
And which tools do you bring?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
Okay.
So this is on its way, OK?
Has he given you any indication yet as to cost?
I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care?
I don't care about the cost. I want the chair repair.
How much did the chair cost to buy?
Over £700. So it's a problem.
Oh, dear.
Huh?
You waste so much money.
Why?
I mean, you tell me that I waste money. Well, it's obviously not a great chair because it's busted.
Well, I've had it a few years.
How many years?
I got it when my back started playing me up about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
And thought I must sit in a straighter chair. And it's a very comfortable chair for that reason. But anyway, this...
£700 for a chair?
Yeah, it was,
That's unbelievable.
Well, it's a very expensive chair because it comes from a very expensive shop.
Which shop?
I think they're called York or something.
York?
Something in York, is it?
I don't know.
York or
York
and something
York
like
Furniture.
That.
I'll see if I can look it up.
Yeah, I think it's something and York. But anyway, look. That's
York Furniture Stores. Here you go.
Is that it? Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Oh, they're Dunelm as well.
They're what?
Dunelm.
What does that mean?
Dunelm is a furniture shop.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, so Dunelm and York, the same shop then?
I don't know. It's just come up as the same thing.
Oh,
York,
I see.
There's something called the York Furniture Company.
Right, okay.
Could that be it?
I don't know. But they've got a big shop in...
What sort of chair would you call it? A womb chair?
No, you call it like a...
Barcelona chair?
No, an upright...
There's a Rareem's rocker.
Well, I can show you. Look, I can only show you.
No, I know, but I need the name so I can look up the actual chair.
How would I know the name of the chair?
Well,
anyway,
you spent £700 on it, you think you'd know what it was?
Well, it's a chair. It's a comfortable chair. Anyway, this is going out now, and I share these things with people because it's there to help. So if you ever get a broken spring in your chair, you will know exactly what to do about it. You tip the chair backwards, you try and identify the break, and then you call in the repairers.
This York Furniture Company seems to have a lot of modern type stuff.
No, that's not mine. No,
that's not yours.
Not
so it wasn't the York Company then?
No, it's something and York, I'm sure, or
really?
Maybe I'm not sure. But anyway,
well, they've got some nice looking furniture. I'm just trying to see if I can find it for you. You might be better off because if he comes to you and says it's going to cost £500 to fix,
yes,
you might be better off just getting a new chair.
Yeah, it won't cost £500 to fix.
Well,
it's
how
one
do you know?
spring. It's one spring. You know, it's not going to cost that. Anyway, I will now distribute this, and obviously, if anybody's got any observations, any points to make, please let me know. Sorry?
You know, one of these leather egg chairs, right, that people quite like.
How much is that?
That's about £300-400.
Oh, blimey, there you go.
There's one for £549.
£549, quite expensive, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, there we are. We're here to help, and obviously this will by spreading this knowledge, no doubt about it.
And they've got fast and hassle-free delivery. Listen to this, right, if you want to be upset in Scotland.
Right.
The fast-free delivery goes to England, Wales and most of Scotland.
Most of Scotland? So which bits of Scotland doesn't it go to?
That's what I think we need to know.
Yeah.
Anyway, more pictures on the update on the upholstery front to come.
Yes.
Coming up next, though, we're going to talk Formula One. This is Talk Sport.
Excellent.
Porky has just put out the picture of his well-upholstered chair, and I'm going to ask you to examine it. I'm going to retweet it as well. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I will do, because the reason we'll come back to that in a little while is that the world's Formula One season is upon us. Can you believe it?
Certainly is.
And it's about to get kicked off in style down in Melbourne in Australia. Todd McCandless is here with us, of course. He is one of the world-famous men from the Formula1blog.com site,
right.
And he's a man that knows all there is to know about the new rules, the new drivers, and exactly how exciting it's going to be. Todd, a very good morning to you. Welcome back.
Good morning, Mike. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah,
it's great to have you on the show.
Now,
Thank you.
It doesn't seem like very long ago since we were just talking about how bizarre it was that Nico Rosberg had decided never to race again, and here he was moving away from the championship that he just won to say that he was going to spend more time, sort of just generally enjoying life. So we got a new cast of characters, albeit some of them are the same as last time. We've got some new rules. What are we going to be seeing, and how far away are we from the first practices in Sydney, in Melbourne, rather?
Yeah, in Melbourne, they're happening right now as we speak. First practices are going on as we speak. Big rule changes for 2017, wider tires, big fat tires on these cars. The cars are setting paces much faster. We predict that lap times and even some records might be broken this season. And you're absolutely spot on, Mike. Lewis Hamilton, he opens his account to go for his fourth title this weekend, but he does so with a brand new teammate in Valtteri Bottas. Now, Bottas comes from Williams, replaces Nico Rosberg. He's no stranger, though. He's had 9 podiums, 77 races in F1. He knows his way around a Formula One car, and he heads into this team. And he also did a great job during testing. He set the most mileage of any driver, over 1,800 miles, Valtteri said. So reliability looking great for Mercedes heading into this weekend.
That's right, absolutely. Now, Todd, even Lewis Hamilton himself has said that he thinks the biggest threat this season, certainly in the earlier part of the season, if he looks at the qualifying times, is going to be Ferrari. Now, that's good news for Formula One motor racing, because Ferrari, of course, the iconic brand that they are, need to be up there, don't they? The lick of red flame needs to be apparent. And also, you can't have a situation, because it's not good for Formula One, to have a champion winning 4 seasons on the trot, like Vettel did, because people lose interest.
Yeah, it's a good point. Mercedes has been so dominant the last 3 years.
Yeah.
It's good that they allowed the teammates to battle each other. But, Mike, you're spot on. What we really want is not so much an intra-team battle. We want an inter-team battle.
Yeah.
We want to see the Ferraris and the Red Bulls take on Mercedes.
Yes.
Now, Ferrari comes out of testing with nearly the equal amount of mileage, and they did set the fastest lap during testing.
Yeah.
Hamilton himself said that he views Ferrari as a real threat, even suggesting that Ferrari might be faster than Mercedes. I'm not convinced of that yet, but what we're hoping for is that Ferrari, for the good of the sport, Mike, as you mentioned, we want Ferrari to take it to Mercedes, and we hope to see that.
We do indeed.
Now, this is also, is it not, correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, the first sort of outing for the new version of Formula One, if you like. Bernie Ecclestone's been moved to the side. We've now got John Malone's guys in charge. There's going to be more razzmatazz, we're told. They're going to try and make it more of a level playing field. Is that starting now, or is that going to be down the road?
Yeah, I think we're going to see that down the road. You know how us Yanks are. We like to put on a big show. And I think Liberty Media wants to do that. They want to make a full week event. They want more digital streaming, more ways for us to digest and consume their content. I think they've got a lot of plans. But right now, I think they've just got to get this season underway. They did bring in Ross Brawn as part of their technical team. They're doing all the right moves so far. and I think they have big plans for it. I think the teams are positive about it. The drivers are positive about it. Big regulation changes for this season. The cars look aggressive. They look fast. They are fast. So, yeah, I think they're going to try to get this season under the belt and start moving Formula One forward.
Yeah, the only thing I would argue with there, Todd, is that, yes, I agree that the cars, they're going to hold the road better, the grip on the tyres. But in doing all that, they made the cars wider. So if you make the cars wider, then you are cutting down on the ability for cars to overtake, which is one thing that the viewing public really love.
Yeah, it's exactly right. We were all calling for prolific passing all these years. The cars are much wider. One of the tracks that they're really concerned it's already difficult to pass at is Monaco.
Of
right?
course,
So,
of course, yeah.
Yeah, you get in those streets of Monaco, Mike. It'd be hard to get around. Also, keep in mind, we also have 20% more downforce on the cars this year.
Yeah.
That means a bigger disturbed air, more wake, and more difficult to follow. So it really remains to be seen if they've improved passing this year. I suspect not.
Yeah, exactly.
And the guy who you mentioned who's going to replace Nico Rosberg, I mean, I've been looking at some profiles of him over the course of the last few days. And, I mean, he's got some incredible mad staring eyes. I'm sorry to pick up on one particular aspect of his personality, but, I mean, he looks like a sort of, cold-blooded guy.
He is. He's from Finland, and we know those guys can hustle a car. And he's a calm character. He's very cool. The temperature's always cool with Valtteri. He doesn't get hot under the collar. But I'll tell you one thing. This week, he did come out in the press and say, hey, I walked into Mercedes. I got a one-year deal to prove my worth and a long-term career at Mercedes. There is no number one. There is no number two at Mercedes in my mind. And I'm gonna drive to the limit of the car. And if I beat Lewis, I beat Lewis. So he's already thrown down the gauntlet a little bit. And I can tell you, Lewis is of the mindset, bring it.
He certainly is. Now, I've got a great idea, Todd, because you're well in with the Formula One scene.
Is this an idea you're passing off for free?
Yes, it is.
Right.
It is, Todd. This is a great idea to improve the races further, make them more exciting, OK? Because of what you've just said about increasing the road grip by 20%, the downforce on the car, it would now be possible, in my view, because I know a little bit about, aeronautics and that kind of thing, it would be possible for a car to go through a procedure where it turned itself upside down and went along a 100-yard road upside down and then twisted and came back again onto the level, a bit like the scene we've seen from the James Bond film when the car goes across the water and flips round. But that car could actually attach itself to the underside of a road, couldn't it, for 100 yards because of the downforce. Isn't that right, Todd?
Yeah, absolutely. The car generates 2.5 tons of downforce, twice its body weight at 120 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, it can run upside down.
Exactly.
And
well, it would be a bit damaging for the driver, though, wouldn't it? Since it doesn't have a roof.
No. The driver is strapped into the seat.
No, I know, but I know he's strapped into the seat, but there's no cover, is there?
No, we'll just need a cover. If you go on a raised road, imagine a New York street where the trains are running above the road, that we all know about.
Yeah.
Now, imagine if the car gradually turned on a road that turned a full 360 degrees.
Yeah.
So
you mean like a kid's race track?
Yes, that's right. That's right. So the car
you want to make the track do that?
Yes, I want to make the track do that. You see what I mean, Tom?
I see. You didn't explain that very well.
The road would actually turn round upside down.
I've got you.
And then for 100 yards, it'd be so thrilling, wouldn't it, if you saw the car actually racing upside down?
Well, that's like the old roller coaster thing where it goes around in a big loop.
It's a bit like what we used to call in this country the wall of death type thing, Tom. But there's no reason why we couldn't do that, isn't there?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a Hot Wheels set that did that.
Exactly.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Exactly.
So it's a bit more difficult and dangerous with real people, though, I would imagine.
But it could be done, and it's difficulty and danger that attracts people to Formula One. I think it's something that the people in Formula One should think about, and Todd, I will allow you to take that message to them from this show.
There you go.
I will do.
Now, on a similar subject, actually, I'm reading about Sergio Perez, who's with Force India, right? Apparently their car is overweight. And I'm reading that he's been on some kind of extreme diet so that he can lighten their load.
Right.
You know about this one?
Yeah, absolutely. The problem is that they increased the weight limit for the cars to 722 kilograms because of the wider tires. But the fact is that Force India's car is right at that limit. And so the only thing they can really change at this point is the driver's weight. And these drivers are in such extreme diets. You recall Jenson Button saying when he retired he could actually eat again, right? So this is a real problem for these drivers. And a couple of years ago, it got so bad that they were talking about that it's really harmful for these drivers, this weight issue. And these extreme diets they were on weren't healthy. So, yeah, Sergio Perez says he's just starving himself between testing and now to lose weight for that car.
Wow. It's almost like they're the new jockeys as well, isn't it? Well, this is going to be a fantastic weekend, Todd. Thank you so much for setting the scene for us.
You bet.
And I'm sure we'll be talking to you again very soon. Todd McCandless there, keeping us updated with all the practice rounds which are going on. There's some stuff going on at the moment. If you watch one of our internal monitors there.
Are you a little envious of my idea for cars to run upside down?
Actually, now that I've worked out what you were trying to say, and I was able to help you explain it, I think it's a great idea. I would endorse that.
It is, because the width of the tyres now and the very short.
See, I thought you meant flipping the car over.
Well, you are, but
I didn't realise you were flipping the road as well.
Yeah, you flip the road over, and so the car actually just sticks to the road, and it's a bit like when you see these scenes in the cockpit of a fighter pilot's plane.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the plane does a complete 180-degree turn.
As we call it.
Yeah, 180. And if a car could do a 180 because the road does a 180, I think it'd be absolutely thrilling.
Well, it's a little bit like Men in Black, isn't it?
Yes.
Have you seen Men in Black?
Yes.
When they go through the Midtown Tunnel.
That's right.
And they're going out towards the Queen's Boulevard.
Yes, that's right.
And the thing goes on the roof.
That's right, absolutely, yeah.
Because it's an alien car.
An alien car.
Yeah. We've got lots more to talk about.
Indeed.
The Porky quiz is coming up soon as well. This is TalkSport.
The winner takes it all. The loser standing small beside the victory. That's her destiny. I was in your arms, thinking I belonged there. I figured it made sense.
Have you had a hand in the selection of all these songs? It's all music from your sort of era, isn't it? We've had Queen, we've had Tina Turner, we've had Abba.
Well, isn't it your era as well?
Well, not quite.
Well, I think it would be. No, I haven't, but this is a particularly poignant record.
Well, when I say era, I mean your taste. As it were.
You know,
I mean, they're all good songs, don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
But we haven't had anything sort of, vaguely...
My era goes over 40 years, mate. I just picked the best records.
Is that right?
But the winner takes it all. This is, of course, a recognition of the award that we received at the IRN Awards last night. Thank you very much, everybody.
Indeed.
But what I was going to say is...
mention that.
It's so poignant, this, because this was about the breakdown of the marriages of the four people in Abba.
Oh, yeah.
Because, as you well know, there were two marriages.
Do you know we've got a guy called Peter who follows us in Sweden?
Oh, yes.
I think it's Peter.
Yes.
And he sent a fantastic picture the other weekend of I think he was either on a bike ride or he was driving somewhere, and it was a picture of a lake.
Yeah.
And on the opposite side of the lake...
Was it Agnetha's Island?
No, it wasn't Agnetha's Island. It was Bjorn... Was it Bjorn, the bearded guy?
Yeah.
It was his house.
Oh, it was his house?
The yellow house.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. You should pay more attention on Twitter to things other than what you spout on about.
But Bjorn and Betty were respectively married to Agnetha and Annifred.
That's right.
Let me get who was married to who. It was... Benny was married to Annifred and Bjorn was married to Agnetha. That's right, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I could quiz you on that, but I don't know. I'm not sure I'm certain enough of the way around
well, it's right. But anyway, their marriages broke up.
Yeah.
They working together, I suppose.
Working together is very stressful.
It is,
particularly
when you're the most famous pop group in the world, or more than a pop group.
Yeah.
Most famous sort of female singers in the world.
Phenomena.
Yeah, and it broke up. But do you remember the video that came with it? It was one of these days...
the winner takes it all?
Yeah, it was one of these Scandinavian days when, they have a lot of darkness in Scandinavia.
In the winter?
In the winter. And
not so much in the summer.
That's right. And it was a dark sort of autumn day in Scandinavia. And, of course, the lead singer was Agnetha, looking a bit glum because, of course, her marriage was falling apart and she was singing about it, Right. And I thought it was quite a remarkable sort of social statement.
Is that right? I'll tell you what's a remarkable social statement.
Yeah.
Is that picture that you've sent out about your upholstered chair.
Why?
Why do I keep saying upholstered chair? Because there's a line in a song, I think.
Is it? The upholstered chair?
No, there's definitely a line in a song about an upholstered chair.
By the way...
I can't think of what the line of the song is.
I've very helpfully been told by a number of correspondents, but in particular Lord Philpott, is the shop I bought it from Multi-York.
Is that right?
So I said it was something York, so have a look at Multi-York.
I'm looking at Multi-York.
But anyway, what's the problem with my picture?
Well, it gives away an awful lot about your bizarre lifestyle. Well, you've turned this thing upside down, right? And first of all, I have to say, I thought it was a leather chair, but it's not a leather chair. In fact, it's sort of upholstered in a sort of what you could only call
quality material,
a rather effete kind of fake Louis XIV type thing going on.
Yeah.
And it's got those funny wooden legs. But I'll tell you what, in the background, right, which is rather hideous, I have to say. I mean, of course, there's a blue carpet covered in like another blue rug.
Yes.
And then a further rug, which is an Everton rug.
Yes, that's right.
And is this your living room?
Yeah, it's the entrance to my living room.
The entrance to your living room?
Yes.
Well, there appears to be a table and a chair.
Yeah,
in
that's
fact,
to
the
the
chair
left. Yeah.
I used to have when I was in my first marriage.
Yes.
We had chairs, dining room chairs, a bit like that.
Oh,
you sure
okay,
those are not ours?
No, of course
you didn't
not.
have them shipped back from New York.
No.
Are you sure?
Oh, no, they're quite traditional.
Well, no, I know, but they look exactly like the ones I used to have.
Oh, well, I'd get something better quality than anything you've got.
In addition, behind that, there's these were from Ethan Allen, by the way, very expensive.
Right.
There's a cabinet, right, which looks an absolute shambles. Full of documents, 8 pieces of paper, boxes, journals.
That's where all the mail goes each morning,
Well, it's just a shambles, though.
No, it's not a
It
shambles.
looks like you've just put a load of stuff there and you haven't touched it for years.
No, I've got my own system for that. Don't worry about that.
Moving further to the left.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There appears to be a couple of plastic bags.
Yeah, that's they're documents that you're going to the bin, and my housekeeper takes them out.
One of the bags I can see has the word Teddy written on it, but I can't see another word. What bag? What's that then?
Oh, I've no idea.
Well, it's a brand of some kind.
Well, she uses the bags. I don't use them.
She does?
Yes, my housekeeper.
Next to them is a pair of black slippers.
Oh, black slippers, yeah, okay.
I can't tell whether they're indoor or outdoor slippers. Look there.
Let's have a look.
There.
Oh, yes.
Are those yours or hers?
They're hers.
They're her slippers?
I think they must be, yeah.
What, your housekeeper leaves a pair of slippers there?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's a bit unhygienic, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Don't you make her put them in a plastic bag and stick them in a cupboard?
Well,
I mean, if I had a housekeeper that came into the house and left shoes lying around...
No.
I would balk at that.
No,
sorry.
She comes in every day at the moment, so it's not a problem.
What do you mean at the moment?
Well, the things to be done.
Like what?
The curtains have got to be done at the moment.
Curtains?
Yeah.
What's going to be done to them?
She's taking them down, they're going out for cleaning, they're coming back, and then they've got to be rehung.
Okay.
Yes.
So at the moment you've got no curtains?
In one room at a time.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
That's a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
No, not really. No, there's blinds.
Anyway,
and all sorts of
any
things.
idiot could have told you that if you just looked under this chair rather than turning it upside down, you can very, very clearly see what's wrong.
Yeah, but I need now to send that picture to the upholsterer guy, okay? So
Neil says this. Let me read you a few of the tweets of people that have seen it. Neil says something you'd find in the back of a skip.
that's a bit harsh,
alongside Mike Parry.
Yes.
David says just as well the spring didn't come out the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it is actually. That could have been quite painful.
Now, here's a piece of good advice from Ernie, who says, Porky, that is called a zig-zig spring.
Right.
So easy to fix. Don't pay any more than 50 quid, as it can be fixed in about 30 minutes.
Really? Oh, right, okay.
Andy says of the general view, it looks like a second-hand shop. King of the clutter.
Oh, those slippers, by the way, I've just looked at them.
Yeah.
They are my lounge slippers.
They're your lounge slippers?
Yeah.
Well, I thought you said they were hers.
No, they're mine. They're my lounge slippers.
What are they doing there?
Well, I put them there next to the table because obviously I was, dealing with the chair.
Are they made of leather?
They are leather, yes.
Are
they
they?
are leather, yeah. Yeah.
Lucky old you.
Yeah.
Peter says...
Because I have a different pair for my bedroom.
Well, you have different pairs for the bedroom and the living room.
Yes, I do.
So what, you leave the living room.
Yes.
You leave the slippers at the door.
Yeah.
You put new slippers on to go in the bedroom.
I walk across the Everton rug to put my other slippers on. Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I do. Because I like it to be organised that way.
Why do you need different slippers in the bedroom?
Just because I have a different feel about the carpets that I'm walking on. I need different slippers for them.
Different feel?
Yeah.
What do you think? It's a Formula One thing?
No.
Change the tyres in case it's raining.
No, there's a different depth to the carpets in the bedroom,
That's unbelievable.
the hallway and the lounge.
And Peter says it looks like some old tat and all that kind of stuff.
That's a bit harsh.
In the room. Well, the room does. It does. It looks like a terrible kind of... this is meant to be the Porky penthouse.
If
you were able to take anybody back there, they'd be embarrassed.
Not at all.
And on the right-hand side...
You're seeing one very tiny corner of an apartment... where everybody has, a shelf to put things on or whatever. So you're being rather unkind, actually.
Everybody has a shelf?
Yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a complaint here. There's a lot of people have been complaining about you blocking people, right? Steve says this. Has Porky now blocked Becky from New Zealand? Surely he must have had his account hacked.
No, why would I block
Well, maybe
Becky?
he blocked her by mistake.
No, I don't think so.
You better check that.
I think I'm very aware of who she is, so it's not a problem.
And here's one from calling himself manager. He says, there is good taste and bad taste, and good doesn't come into the equation. 700 quid for that chair. Yeah. Someone saw him coming.
I don't think so. Have you found multi-York yet?
Well, I have found multi-York, but I haven't yet found a chair that looks like that.
Right.
I've found a lot of chairs like... Well, here's one that's called the Mulberry button-back chair. Could that be it?
Mulberry, I don't know.
It's a different covering, but it's that sort of shape.
Yeah, the same sort of thing.
That sort of shape. Now,
how much is that one?
You'll be glad to see that there is a sale on.
Yeah.
And in the sale, right, Do you know what it costs in the sale?
No.
It's actually got different legs. 900 quid.
Well, there you go.
In the sale.
That's amazing. So I got a bargain then, didn't I?
The recommended price is $11.99.
Golly. For
That's
one
ridiculous
chair.
for one chair. That is madness. Why would you spend that much money on one chair?
Well, there you say, I got a bargain. You're always saying that, you throw your money away and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
obviously, that was a very wise buy.
Well, it was a wise buy if you got more money than sense.
Yeah.
Well, how about it's a Hayworth leather chair, also $11.99, reduced to $800.
Yes.
This is crazy.
Well, there you go, you see.
Unbelievable.
Told you, and thank you very much to all the correspondents who pointed out it was multi-York.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my claims to have bought a very, very good chair might have gone vacuously.
Now, here's one from Becky, who says, you don't need slippers to visit Porky. The carpet's covered in rugs.
Well, there are some rugs,
there's the rugs all the way through. There's an Everton rug. There's another blue rug.
Yeah, well, I like to keep the floor covered well.
The wing-back chair is obviously a victim of exceeding safe working load.
No,
she says.
No, not at all. Nothing like that whatsoever. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah.
Now then.
Jimmy says maybe if it's a prayer mat, it's facing towards Goodison.
Says what?
Is it a prayer mat facing towards Goodison?
Well, it looks a bit like that. It could be, couldn't it? Do you know what I came across today? I might tell you about a bit later in the show.
Yeah, go on.
You know these terrible disputes that people have over, like small pieces of land, parking spaces and all that?
Yeah.
There's a group of people who live in literally £1,000,000 houses, multi-million-pound houses down in Stockbroker Belt.
Yeah.
And they're arguing over a space of about 15 inches.
Right.
Added or taken away from one person's parking space, making it easier or difficult to...
Well, there must be nothing more frustrating,
And
really.
they've spent literally up to £50,000 now going to court to try and sort it out.
Yeah,
Isn't that
absolutely
amazing?
shocking. Well, we will talk more about that because I've got a couple of tales for you on that front. Coming up in the next hour as well, it is, of course, time for the Porky quiz, which is on the Masters at Augusta. Good morning, I'm Mike Graham, he's Mike Parry. You're listening to the award-winning Two Mics on TalkSport and Talk Radio. Coming up in this hour, we'll have tales of the unexpected and what sort of things can happen when you get into a row with your neighbours. And, of course, it's the Porky quiz, which today is on the Masters. There's a big golf tournament going on down in the US of A. Rory McIlroy's just been kicked out of it. But the Masters is about 10 days away. We'll predict, I would say, 3 out of 10 for Porky. 08717 223344. You're listening to the award-winning Two Mics with me, Mike Graham, and Mike Parry on TalkSport. There's some great tweets coming in. Smethik Mon, right, who's one of our big fans over in the US of A.
Yes.
It says, Jesus wept, that looks like a 1970s bedsit.
No, it's
Millionaire, my backside.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm a man of the people, so I don't pretend to...
well, with his £700 chair.
have to live in a luxurious lifestyle. I live in what is a comfort zone.
Darren says, Porky's room looks like an episode of The Hoarder Next Door.
Well, you say that, but it just happens to be that's where I just stick all the stuff that comes through the door and the papers and all that stuff that needs attention, all that kind of stuff. Don't worry
David
about
says,
it.
Porky has plenty of rugs to cushion the blow when he falls flat on his face after stumbling home from Wetherspoons.
Yeah, well, there's none of that, believe me. Did you realise that the clocks go forward this weekend?
I did realise that,
I
yes,
didn't,
because they went forward in America about 3 weekends ago.
When you were there?
Not when I was there, but the weekend I got back, funnily enough.
I see, yeah.
So we've been on the 4 hours, because actually I had to check this because I was on, you may have noticed I was on KOGO radio yesterday.
Oh, yeah? Who was that with?
LaDonna Harvey.
Oh, okay. How did that go?
It went well.
Okay.
She has a breakfast show in San Diego.
Yeah,
as you probably know.
And so you were boring the San Diegians
because you take such
a
great interest in everybody else's radio career. I noticed that you put out a really mealy-mouthed and very unfortunately bitter and twisted
Oh, did I?
tweet.
What did I say?
You said, couldn't they find anybody who knew anything about it to talk about the Westminster attack?
Exactly, yeah.
And, of course, you were then upbraided by quite a few people who said this is not really a matter for making jokes about.
Yeah, well...
So, you quickly withdrew.
Bit harsh.
But anyway, so initially she said, how many hours are you ahead of us?
Yes.
And she said, is it 9?
Yes.
And I knew that normally LA is 8, right?
Yes.
But because of the fact the clocks had gone forward, I said, I think it's 9, but of course it turned out it was 7 because it's gone the other way.
Yeah.
So instead of me talking to them at what I thought was 20 to 5, my time, it was, what time?
20 to 6.
No.
What?
No, it was 2 hours the other way.
2 hours the other way.
20 to 2.
20 to 2.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So you follow that now?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Anyway, so I knew that the American Times had, because there is always about 4-week period now in the spring, where they're only 4 hours behind us in New York.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So we sort of lose an hour, don't we?
Yeah, we certainly do.
Spring forward.
Yeah, that's right. What is it?
Spring forward, fall back is the thing.
That's right. Spring forward, fall back. That's right. Yeah, and you've got to remember that that means you get 1 hour's less sleep overnight, Saturday night. So,
that's what I'm saying.
Your normal Saturday night ritual of the white, the red, the rosé, and then the whiskey, you must curtail an hour earlier.
I thought you said that was my Sunday night ritual.
It's usually a Friday night ritual, but I believe that you resume it on a Saturday night when you feel that you deserve to reward yourself.
No.
Please remember that on Sunday this week it is Mother's Day. Now,
well, I do remember that because not only do I have a mother, I also have
a mother as well.
A woman who is the mother of my children.
Yes, exactly.
Who I shall be regaling with all sorts of breakfasts in bed and all the rest of it.
So you've got all the plans in place, have you? Yeah,
of course.
Oh, what's going to happen then?
Well, I'm not going to reveal it on the radio, am I?
Well, you know...
Why would I reveal it to you, one, and also if it's meant to be a surprise to anyone before it happens?
Yes, well, these things happen.
What are you going to be doing with your mother?
I'm taking my mother... well, actually, we're having lunch at home in the family seat in Surrey.
The family seat?
Yes.
Does that have a lot of rugs in it as well?
It's a very nice house, actually, very nice.
Well, you said your house is nice.
It is, yeah, my house is lovely.
Yeah, but your house is not lovely.
Yeah, you've seen one corner of it, that's
just
all.
been described as a 70s bedsit.
No, you've seen what is basically the utility room, which is
You said it was your lounge.
The entrance to the lounge, but it's not the lounge. It's a separate room which is on the entrance to the lounge.
Very near this rug and the chair of yours.
Yes.
There is the first of the dining room tables.
Well, that's...
So that's how close it is.
Yeah, but there's an archway between the two, which you can't see on that picture.
Well, why is there a dining chair there?
Well, that's on the other side of the archway. Don't worry about it, honestly.
I'm not worried about it.
I'll explain it all.
Sean says this, if Mike Parry says literally one more time, I will literally go insane.
Is that right?
Literally.
Yeah, well, you might.
Now, somebody else has also sent you a very nice picture of the Everton rug that you've got, which is available on eBay.
Oh, yes.
There you go, look. You can buy it for £3.50.
Why would I want to? I've already got one. You can see that I've already got one from my picture.
£700.
No, I spent about £15, I think, on that one.
15.
Yes.
Now, I'm sorry to tell you that Becky has confirmed that you have indeed blocked her.
Oh, really?
Which is a shocking statement.
Why would I have done that? Did she write something offensive about me?
Well, she wouldn't have. This is how you are Trump-like. You see, if anybody says anything you don't like, you immediately lash out.
No.
So you've blocked the lovely Emma, and you've blocked Becky as well.
I don't believe I have.
Well, you have.
I will check it out. And
I think you should unblock them immediately.
If I did, there would have been a good reason for it. They must have been.
No, Becky is a
very,
very big fan of our show.
Or
has
used
listened
language
to us
which was unacceptable
she's listened to us for a very long time.
Okay.
She sent us a bottle of wine each at Christmas.
Did she?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have. I certainly wouldn't have blocked one like that. And if I have, it's a mistake and it will be unblocked immediately.
Well, I think you should get to it.
Yes.
Sooner rather than later.
I will. Don't worry. I promise I will.
Somebody sent a nice picture in of Porky's private slipper collection.
Yes.
Andy says penthouse looks more like a doghouse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are really not warming to your interior decorating style.
Well, I can't help that, I'm afraid. It's an insight into somebody else's domain, really, isn't it, which is mine. Talking about domains, by the way, I've come across another theory in my historical journals as to why the Roman Empire ended. I mean, I thought initially the Roman Empire...
Why the Roman Empire ended?
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows why the Roman Empire ended.
Well,
the Roman Empire ended because Rome became surrounded and was under attack from all sorts of foes.
Yes.
And so all the people who were in disparate parts of the Roman Empire returned to Rome to try and defend their empire, by which time they'd lost Rome, and then all the other outlying parts of the empire were exposed as well. Yeah. So it was a sort of a double whammy.
Well, that may be a general sort of...
Well, that's what happened.
Belief, but I can tell you more specifically that the people most responsible for the end of the Roman Empire were in fact the Huns.
The Huns?
The Huns, yeah. Yeah. No, they were.
I'm not going to make that obvious
No,
joke.
the Huns, who were nomadic tribes of people who lived along the Volga River in Eastern Europe.
The Volga boatmen,
Yeah. They were rampaging hordes who...
Well, they were one of the groups of people that attacked Rome.
That's right. Well, they were also, of course, either directly loyal to or descendants of Attila the Hun, who was the most gruesome leader in the history of man.
Well, he was the sort of king of the Huns, wasn't
he? He was king of the Huns, yeah. And what happened was, when they got to the borders of the Roman Empire, a lot of Roman people thought, wow, they've got a really laid-back way of life. They seem to get drunk all the time.
The Romans, because they'd lost their edge, hadn't they?
Yeah, that's right. They had. They get drunk all the time. They're ill-disciplined. They believe in free love and multiple sexual orgies and that kind of stuff.
They basically become decadent, haven't they?
Yeah, they become too decadent. And this is a research paper from the University of Cambridge, which says that actually what happened was, it wasn't so much the collapse of the Roman Empire, but in large numbers, Romans started going over to the other side and became Huns.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Yeah.
What, in the Volga or just in general?
Well, it started in the Volga and then it moved up. It says analysis of teeth and bones show that some Roman citizens left their homesteads to become Hun-like roaming herdsmen.
Hun-like roaming herdsmen?
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds like a song.
They abandoned agriculture, long considered the foundation of Roman civilization. Instead, they embraced a diet featuring lots of meat and fish and excessive amounts of alcohol.
Yeah.
And some Huns went the other way, settling down and adapting to Roman ways, but they then became, disassociated from the expanding Hun Empire.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a fascinating piece of information nobody knew about.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Lots of people have got more comments on your apartment.
Yes.
One from Quarterback says, "Is his apartment in the travel lodge? #dump."
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Logs1 says, MG Porky, you have been done. A £700 chair and the springs are popping out after 4 years. It should last at least 10 to 15.
Well,
take it back.
Well, I'm not sure about that. It's somebody's saying, well, there's too much weight on the chair and that's why it broke. But of course, that's not true because
I mean, chairs.
People twice my weight sit on chairs like that and they don't sort of. It's just wear and tear.
I suspect it's older than 4 years. I think because you know how sometimes as you get older, you misinterpret the number of years that you've had things for.
Yes.
You think you've only had it for about 4 or 5 years. You've probably had it for 10 years.
Sure, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I've had my place down in Gosport for 10 years and I didn't realise that.
Have you?
I honestly thought it was about... you're right, about, maybe 4 or 5 or 6 or something. Yeah.
Well, I mean, funnily enough, Facebook does a thing at the moment where they say this was what you were doing 6 years ago.
Yes.
And it pops up on my timeline, and I don't normally do this kind of thing.
No.
I don't normally try to share that much about my life.
Sure.
But interestingly enough, I had reposted a piece written by Sue Carroll about her illness.
Oh.
6 years ago.
Yes.
And obviously that would have been, I suppose, shortly before she passed away.
Well,
6 years ago was 2011.
I think it would have been about that year. We went to see Sue in the cancer hospital.
We did,
and we were working down Brompton Road.
Down Brompton Road, and we were working together, weren't we? At that time,
yeah.
So 2011. Now we were still maybe still working, and unfortunately, she would have passed away probably sometime in the next 12 months. But I put a thing with it, so I can't believe that was actually 6 years ago.
No, I can't either. Amazing.
Amazing. Anyway,
on the Huns and the Romans, by the way. The Romans described the Huns as barbaric, fickle, irascible, treacherous, inconsistent, and like brute beasts. But they are utterly ignorant of the distinction between right and wrong. They have no morals or character. But like millions
You're talking about the Huns?
The Huns.
Yeah.
But tens of thousands of Romans went over to the other side and wanted to be Huns.
Well, they weren't.
Isn't that amazing?
They weren't as, I suppose, cultured as the Romans were, but the Romans had let themselves go to seed. That was part of the problem. Yeah. Mark says this, if Porky gets more than 3 in the Porky quiz, it's a success, or he will have got some help from somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
And Dave says, looking at your picture with the rugs and the chair, he says, is that Rigsby's place from Rising Damp?
That's a bit
Is Porky trying to Rogerise Miss Jones from the flat above?
I don't think so. There's no flat above, mate. I mean, this gets worse and worse about the Huns. One account...
Why are you obsessed with the Huns?
Well, I'm just telling you, I've discovered something here. One account from the time of the Roman Empire described the Huns as a savage race which dwelt at first in the swamps. They are stunted, foul and puny people who are scarcely human, who have no language save one which bore but slight resemblance to human speech. More grunt and grumble than speech.
Really?
Isn't that amazing?
Well, they managed to conquer the Romans, though. They weren't all stupid, were they?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, thank you very much indeed for that.
Okay.
More updates on the Huns coming soon.
Yeah,
this is Talk Sport.
The Hun.
It's another one of your disco classics, isn't it?
No, not really a disco classic. I mean, it's just a popular record.
No, this is a disco classic. Come on.
Well, I mean, what's wrong with disco classics
anyway?
anyway?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it
I'd
at
just
all.
like to get one of my selections in.
Yeah.
I'll think of one of mine so
Yeah.
we can play
Well,
one of those
what
as
is
well.
one of your selections?
Well, I don't know. I
then?
haven't given it any thought, really.
Yes.
These are all a bit obvious.
Yes.
I'll come up with something a little bit more
Okay, well, you
interesting.
come up with something else, but at the
Yeah.
moment you can't seem to think of anything else, so that's why I've had to fill the void.
Well, I have to think about everything else that goes on in the show.
You've got to remember
I'm
that
under a lot of pressure here.
You've got to remember that inactivity and lack of initiative leads to vacuums, and vacuums are often filled by the wrong people with the wrong sort of things.
Yeah,
okay?
well, that's what you've just described your
No.
personality on this show altogether.
No, not at all.
If there is a vacuum, you will fill it.
No. The
You've
vacuums.
just said that. You've just said that about yourself.
The vacuums occur if I stop concentrating 100% on every minute of this show because you have a dilettante attitude to what we discuss in this show because you're kind of not with it, if you know what I mean.
Oh, Syndex says that ain't a £700 chair. Stop lying to us,
Of course
please.
it is. It's at least £700. In fact, I've probably underestimated how much
Well,
I paid for it.
if indeed-
I probably paid near £1,100 for that
Oh,
chair.
see, now
on reflection.
that you think it's more expensive, you have to try and make up some more
Well,
figures.
just on reflection, that's all I'm saying, on reflection.
How do we know you bought it from this place?
Well, where else did I buy it?
Well, you could have bought it from any number of places. You could have bought it from that place that sells the cheap, D8. Was it DFS? The sofa place.
No, definitely
You could
not.
have bought it from there. You could have bought it from John Lewis.
No, definitely not.
You could have bought it from Tesco's.
Definitely not.
You could have bought it from
You
any
can't
number
buy,
of
you
different
can't buy
places.
those sort of chairs from Tesco's, really, you can't. Now then, what I need to talk to you about, because, of course, I think you'll find I got a very good reaction to Porky Vision this week. There's so much...
People
sort of
actually did say
good
that
time.
for a
absolutely,
change, it was quite informative.
Yes, they
and
did.
to be
they
honest,
did.
I was not happy because it looks to me as though you've tried to tell me the plot line of the show that I haven't seen.
No, well, that is your problem. What I was going to talk to you about was these amazing YouTube bloggers, right?
Yes.
Who, at the
Vloggers,
age of
they
about
call them, don't
17 or 18, have become multimillionaires.
Right.
And when you're going to come up with an idea for us to replicate that and then free ourselves from the yoke of the capitalist society in which we have to turn up for work every day.
Well, you want me to come up with an idea for it?
Well, yeah, it would be nice if for once you could.
Yeah, okay. Well,
So what are you going to do?
Well, I mean, I come up with lots and lots of ideas, but unfortunately you're not capable of always carrying them out. But if you'd like me to specifically come up with something for that, then what I'll do is I shall first invest in a plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
I'll get you some decent clothes, and I'll get you to shave your beard off, and I'll get a little work done on you, and you can turn yourself into somebody that appeals to many, many young teenagers.
Now then, let me tell you.
Because unfortunately at the moment I don't think that would be the case.
Let me tell you how it goes. People in particular professions.
Yeah.
A professional gambler called Dan Middleton, who is 25, shares his his gambling tips and all this kind of stuff, and the way he goes about his business with on YouTube.
Yeah.
14.3 million people.
Well, I could do that, couldn't I? Because I get a lot of my tips right when I do them. The 4 trebles in a row.
Yeah,
and all
okay,
that.
yeah.
Maybe we'll do that.
On Instagram, 2.2 million. Now,
Uh-huh.
is that subscribers on Instagram?
They're followers, really.
Followers.
Yeah.
And what about YouTube? When they say you've got 14.3 million on YouTube, what does that mean?
Subscribers. Those are people who are subscribers. So that, I mean, we have subscribers. For example,
Yes.
whenever we put a new YouTube video up on our channel,
Yes.
which is called Two Mics TV,
Yes.
they get an email to say there's a new YouTube video.
Yeah.
So basically, they kind of tie themselves into it.
I mean, that's quite amazing, isn't it? 14.
I have to tell you this, though. There are some very interesting moves afoot.
Yeah.
And we're going to be filming live on Facebook the Porky quiz.
Yes, we are.
And a little bit of an aftermath
Yes,
of the
we
show.
are.
Because people have told us what they like. It's
Yes.
not just what goes out live on the radio.
That's right.
But they quite like what goes on in between.
They
quite
indeed.
like to see the interaction between you and I.
Indeed.
When we know that we're not actually broadcasting, right?
Exactly.
Now, we are in the midst of negotiating a possible deal whereby we will stream things on Facebook to a subscriber-only audience.
Yes, that's right.
And that could work.
Of course it'll work, yeah.
It might
Absolutely
not
no
work
problem.
to the tune of 1 million people,
I
but
would
it might
like
work a little
to
bit.
also make an announcement. We have suffered some distribution and delivery problems with the new website over the last few days.
Yes.
I'm really sorry about this because the method of payment process was changed and it wasn't changed for the better. And it was nobody's fault. It was just that the systems we're using weren't compatible with each other. Now, fortunately, we've had our top people working on this over the last 2.5 days.
It's sorted now, isn't it?
Well, we hope it is sorted. We believe that we have found a solution. We believe that it's now going to be extremely easy for you to go onto the website and go to what's called the store. And if there's anything there you want to buy, and there's loads of stuff there, it should now be a very simple process. We have had a few hiccups, which I'm very sorry about. We're going to iron those out, and anybody who's ordered will get exactly what they wanted. If, after a week, you find it's not coming through, you must contact us, please. There's a contact number on the website, and we promise you we will put right whatever has gone wrong.
Excellent stuff.
Now, one of these other bloggers, right, which is amazing, is a lady called Ksi, KSI.
KSI?
She's 23.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Well, I assume so. KSI. I've never heard of her, obviously.
Obviously.
She has 15.9 million people
Amazing, isn't it?
on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find out what she does because nobody seems to know.
Well, they're YouTubers. I mean, the
beauty
thing about,
tips.
The thing about YouTubers is not so much what they say and the fact that they say anything, really. It's the fact that they've got people who like watching. It's a bit like, I suppose, if you could imagine an album that is put out by a band, right?
Yes.
And if you're 14 or 12, you quite like the band. So whenever one of their music pieces of music comes on YouTube or whenever it comes on the radio, you listen to it. With these guys, they look forward to something that they're going to do. Well, they might not be doing anything particularly interesting.
I've just found out she's actually a rapper.
What?
She's a rapper.
You sure it's not a bloke?
No. This is a lady called Ksi. Now, hang on. What does it say?
KSI is a bloke from Watford.
On the hottest influence list, rapper and comedian Ksi.
He's a bloke, though.
Hey?
He's a bloke.
No.
Are you sure?
Vlogger Louise Pentland. Hang on. Oh, he could be a chap, yeah.
He could be. Well, have you not looking at the picture?
He is. Yeah, he's sorry. Now, this is a bloke. It's not a woman, okay? So this guy...
No, maybe that's why he's got so many followers.
Yeah, could
first
be.
of all, he thinks he's a woman. It turns out he's a man.
No. This guy, Ksi, is a bloke. He's 23. He's got 15.9 million followers on YouTube.
Yeah.
2.7 million followers on Twitter. 4.3 million people on Instagram. That's Ksi.
Is it short for Simon?
No, it's KSI. I keep telling you, you idiot. Why didn't you listen?
Well, you said his name was Ksi.
It is Ksi.
Well, how do you know it's not KSI? Isn't it just KSI? That's his name.
No, it's capital K, small S and I.
Right.
So it's Ksi.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course I'm sure. If it was KSI, it'd be capital K, capital S, capital I, wouldn't it? And you'd get a space between the three letters.
You're telling me about all these people.
Yeah, well, I know what I'm telling you about it. And
I've no idea.
As usual, arguing because
you argue you first told me he was a woman.
No, you argue with every word that I
Well, that's because it's all wrong. You said he was a woman.
No, I didn't. I said Kasai, rapper, and then immediately realised that I was looking at the picture of the wrong person.
I see.
It is Ksi, yeah.
Well, I'm glad we sorted that out.
Yeah.
What's your point, anyway?
No, the point is that I want to know when you can get us into these sort of numbers.
You want to make more money, is what you're saying. You don't need to make any more money.
Listen.
You just won an award for being on the radio, right?
Yes.
You're a millionaire. You own properties all over the country.
I wish you wouldn't keep telling people this. You give completely the wrong image of me.
Well, what are you then?
Well, I am just a chap who likes working every day. It's as simple as that, right?
Well, I don't want to work every day.
And people normally work for their success.
Right.
And success is represented in our business, in one avenue or one division of our business, by the number of people who are signing up to YouTube to see us. Now, we haven't got 11.6 million of them.
No.
And I want to know where they've gone and what you're doing about it. That's right. That's all.
You want me to sort that out for you?
Yeah, I do want you to sort it out. I'm going to get busy, you know?
I think you're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah, well, that's obvious.
I could get you an award on the radio. That's what I can do.
Oh, you can't get me an award on the radio,
I just got you one.
I just got you one, you mean?
Oh, really? So
I've been carrying you around.
Now, aren't you?
I've been carrying you around like a sack of coal.
You really believe that, don't you?
Like a sack of coal.
You really believe that. What were you doing 3 years ago?
Do you remember the old...
what were you doing 3 years ago?
Do you remember the old coal delivery man who used to come in with a sack of coal in his bag?
Yeah, I remember
That's how I feel you've been to me for the last 10 years.
What were you doing 3 years ago?
3 years ago?
Yeah.
Probably making a lot of money somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
What, in that failed internet venture?
Well, that was unfortunately was a bit of a disaster.
It was, wasn't it?
Didn't stop me from,
What about when you were doing the 2 mics with Mike Osmond? How did that go?
Yeah, very well indeed, thanks.
Oh, how did it go?
Excellent.
Really? How many sort of numbers did you get on the downloads?
Oh, loads.
Really?
Loads.
What, more than you're getting with me?
No, because you and I have been practising at it and getting very good at it, and the numbers obviously are.
I don't know why you want to
stupendous.
go down this road.
I don't know why you want to go down this road at all.
Well, because you told me you've been carrying me for the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, when we first got back together, you were doing a sort of 8-hour overnight show, weren't you?
I was doing a 6-hour overnight show, very successful
right?
actually. Yeah, I was doing a very successful overnight show, and I very generously invited you back in.
Yeah,
and all that now happens is that you bite the hand that feeds and behave like some troll who's not in any way grateful.
Not at all. I've liberated you. I mean, for instance, I put you on the stage, which you'd never have got onto.
You put me on the stage?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you have to turn it into this bitter, vitriolic nastiness?
Well, because you've got bitter and vitriolic in telling me that you rescued me.
Well, because
I in fact expanded, the things you do.
This is why people who work together end up breaking up with each other, right? Because you are the sort of person that can't stand it when somebody else is given credit for something.
Introduced you to commercial partners.
We just won an award, right?
Yeah.
You should be happy, but you're not.
Got you talking to publishers about books. You'd be nowhere without me, pal.
Instead, I'm very happy to work with you. I enjoy it.
That's good.
But what I'm not going to do is thank you for saving my career. My career was fine, thank you very much.
Okay,
before you walked away from it the first time.
Well, I was, if you'd have, operated a little bit more professionally in those days, then, it wouldn't have happened. But anyway, look, you be happy in what you think about it. No problem.
I'm very happy. Good. I don't want to be a YouTube vlogger with 15 million teenage fans.
Why
if
not?
you want to be that, then go ahead and do it.
Well, it could make us, even more or even better
more
than
money.
we are now. Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Well, I proved to you yesterday in a report that I saw, money makes the world go round.
Did you? OK. Here's this from JPK. Stunted growth, barely comprehensible language, not cultivated. Is Mike Parry a reincarnated Hun? It's a very good question. The Porky quiz is coming up next.
4. Straight down the middle. It went straight down the middle. Then it started to hook just a wee bit.
This is Talk Sport. We are the two Mikes, and it is that time of the week when we do the impossible. We quiz Porky on yet another area of his expertise, and here it is. I've just been handed by Dave Levine, the producer, the one and only copy of the quiz questions.
OK, the A questions and the B questions.
No,
yeah?
there are none. There are none at all. The quiz masters have written on the back of the envelope a little message here. It says, "Are we award winners too?"
Yes.
You'd have to say the quiz masters. I think they were involved the night of the Trump debacle, weren't they?
Not to much extent.
Yeah, I think there was a presidential quiz.
Mostly us. Mostly us.
Quiz. Now, as you can see, there is one sheet of paper with one set of questions on.
Just wait until I get the first two questions right, then you'll see, the B set of questions.
Would you like to check the envelope?
Oh, no, you wouldn't be stupid enough to put them both in the same envelope, mate. Sleight of hand.
Well, so what, you think
desks have a top side and an underside,
Well, I'm very happy to remove anything from view that people can see what I'm doing. That's why we're doing it in front of a camera.
Exactly. But I think we should get on with it.
I think we should get on with it. Have you got any notes helping you today?
No.
You're sure about that?
Absolutely not.
You've got nothing that I would need to move away from you?
No.
Including your telephone?
No.
Okay, all right. Just checking.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
All right. Now, if you get one correct,
yes,
you will hear this sound.
That's a non-sound. That's just a sound.
It's a cacophony, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not responsible for the sounds.
Right, go on.
These have come from behind the glass.
Okay.
If you get one incorrect, you will hear this.
That is gone. Ay.
That's quite good, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay, so are you ready?
I'm ready.
For question number 1.
I'm always ready.
Who won the first Augusta National Invitational Masters Tournament in 1934?
1934?
Yeah.
That was a chap called... It's something like... It was the Augusta Invitational between 1934 and 1939 when it became the Masters. And in 1934, was it a chap called... I think his name was Bob North. I'm just thinking aloud.
Bob North.
Thinking aloud. It was Bob North or Bob Nail or Bob Neath.
Bob Nail?
Yeah, or Neil. It could have been Neil Bobberton. Or
Neil Bobberton.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, hang on. hang on. I think it was... I think his name was Bob Nail.
Incorrect.
No.
Gone.
What's the problem?
His name was Horton Smith.
Horton Smith, okay, yeah.
Not Bob or Nail.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Right, so question number 2.
Yeah.
Who were the big 3 players that dominated the tournament from 1960 to 1978?
1960 to 78.
So that's obviously 3 people whose names I'm looking for.
Okay, well, let me think. I'm thinking aloud now about my golfing history.
Yes.
That would have to be, in my view, Gary Player...
I can't tell you whether they're correct until you get all 3 at the end.
I would say Gary Player. I would say Arnie's Army, Arnold Palmer. And I would have to say, I suppose, during that era, his great rival Jack Nicklaus. Now, hang on, who else could be included in the golfing greats of that era? Because Gary Player... I think he went something like 15 years between his first... Right, OK, I'm going to say Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer.
Correct.
Hooray! Thank you.
So you got 1 out of 2.
Thank you.
Question number 3.
Yeah.
Who will be Grayson Murray's unorthodox caddy at this year's Masters?
Say it again, please.
Who will be Grayson Murray's unorthodox caddy at this year's Masters?
Grayson Murray?
Yes. He's number 18 on the money list in the PGA, I believe.
What, and you expect me to know who his caddy's going to be at the forthcoming Masters?
Well, it's been quite a big story over the last few days. Maybe you haven't noticed it. But
I notice everything. Okay. I notice everything.
Well, I'm sure you would have seen it then.
Grayson Murray's caddy at the Masters is obviously a celebrity.
Well, I can't give you any clues.
But to ask by the 18th, the golfer on the 18th on the money list.
18th on the money list is a big number. 18th on the money list
is 18th down from the top.
Do you have any idea how many people make $1 million below number 18?
Yeah, loads of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's to be in the top 20 on the money list.
And you're asking me who the caddy is?
Who his caddy will be in the Masters this year? I mean, don't you do any research for these
quizzes?
Yeah.
Don't you start asking me questions like that, pal. You one-trick pony.
I don't know why you're so nasty this evening. You won an award. I mean, it's turned you into even more of a complete and utter...
Hang on. It's...
I can't say the word.
Right, this person, the caddy, is going to be... That will be... I think it's coming to me. President Obama.
Incorrect.
No.
It's Playboy model Lindsay Pellas.
They're going to let her on the course?
Yeah, of course they will.
Ridiculous.
Question number 4. You got 1 out of 3. Yeah. Who famously said, "What a stupid I am," after handing in a wrongly marked card in 1968, which disqualified him from the playoffs?
Right, 1968. How stupid am I?
Yeah. What a stupid I am.
What a stupid I am. Right, now I've talked about the big 3, but also from that era. I think it could have been. There was another Australian golfer called Peter Thompson. Just thinking aloud. And I think it might have been him, because it couldn't have been Gary Player, because he's worn the same pair of trousers for 50 years, just to prove that he hasn't put any weight on.
And haven't you also said that he'd walk around with a bit of bacon?
He wrapped up in cling film in his pocket. Right, okay, this person is, in my view, that is going to be... See, I don't think it's one of the big 3, so who would be below them? I tell you, it could be... No, it's not Oosterhouse, is it? I'm going to say Peter Thompson.
Incorrect.
No!
It is Roberto Di Vincenzo.
Oh, yeah, everybody knows that, don't they?
Very famous golfer in the 60s, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, so famous,
look, You're the one that asked to do a quiz on the Masters.
He's an Argentinian, that guy.
It doesn't matter where he comes from.
Argentinian.
It doesn't matter where he comes from.
He never won it.
Question number 5. Yeah. How long is the Masters course? I'm looking for a yardage.
Okay. The yardage this year, it started off at 6,000 yards when it was first started in the 30s. And you have to give me a little leeway here. I'll
give you 10% either way.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to say, if it's 10%, I'm going to say 7,450.
Correct.
Hey!
That is remarkably close. It's actually 7,435.
Oh, well, there you go.
You didn't even need 10%
either
way. So that's 2 out of 5.
That's good.
Question number 6. What is the 18th hole otherwise known as?
The 18th hole otherwise known as... Now, all the holes at Georgia...
Augusta, you mean?
Augusta, Georgia, are named after flowers. And I think the 18th, from memory... because I remember a dramatic playoff. I think it's called... Thinking aloud? I think it's Daisy. Hang on a sec. Daisy...
Why are you looking up there?
Because I'm seeking inspiration from the skies.
Stuck something on the roof, have you?
No. Daisy... no, I think I know what it is.
Uh-huh.
I remember now.
Do you? You've looked at something, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you've got some aide de memoire going on. Ivy,
right. Now, thinking aloud. And I thought Ivy, and then I thought, no, I think it's the holly and the ivy.
This is when we know you're cheating, because you just spent a long time looking at something away in the distance there, and you didn't say thinking aloud, and you've come all the way from Daisy to Ivy to Holly. I would say you've cheated, but I will give you that because it's the correct answer. people can, of course, judge for themselves because they can watch.
What could I possibly be looking at, you idiot?
What could you possibly be looking at? Well, you could be looking at your notes, the stuff that's in front of you.
Yeah, where?
Well, everything that's in front of you that you never want to move.
That'd be ridiculous.
All right, next question is number 7. How many non-Americans...
How many have I got right, by the way?
You've got 3 at the moment.
Ooh, 50%.
How many non-Americans have won the Masters?
How many non-Americans in total?
I need an exact number, yes.
An exact number? That's too harsh. I think you've got to give me a 10% easement on this.
I gave you 10% on the other one. You don't get 10% on this.
Now, the
number is not big enough.
The first non-Americana to win it was Gary Player.
It's not a pizza.
No, it's not a pizza. It was Gary Player, 1960.
I'm not asking you for names of people who have won it.
Hang on.
I'm asking you for how many non-Americans.
Yeah, but you see, that's a very broad range of subject now. And then other people who are non-Americans started winning it. I can tell you that 1, 2, 3, 4 Brits have won it. I can tell you that's 4. So, we got Gary Player, that's 5. I think there was one other South African guy, that's 6. An Australian and an Argentinian, 8. Hang on, please.
I have to hurry you because it's already quarter to...
Think loud.
Yeah.
And then German. I think it's either Bernard Langer or... I'm going to say, thinking aloud here, 9, 10, 11 non-Americans.
Incorrect.
No! How many is it?
It is 14.
14, right, okay.
So you've still got 3 right, though.
Yeah.
3 out of 7. Question number 8.
That's 50%, by the way.
When did Augusta... It's not, actually. It's less than 50%. When did Augusta National finally allow women members to join the club?
When do they allow... Well, what's that got to do with the Masters tournament?
An awful lot.
No, it hasn't, because they don't compete in the Masters tournament.
No, the point is that the Masters was going to be taken away from Augusta and the tour was going to stop going there if they did not admit women members. I'm sorry to say that is the truth.
It's not the truth.
You don't know a lot about golf, do you?
No, this is a ridiculous question. It's got nothing to do with the forthcoming Masters nor the past Masters.
The PGA threatened to withdraw the tournament from the Masters if they did not admit women.
I don't agree. But anyway...
it doesn't matter whether you agree, that's the story.
Anyway, I will have to then have a guess at that because it's not a piece of information which I regarded as relevant to the quiz.
Right.
So I'm going to say 1995.
Incorrect.
No!
August 2012. You surely must remember when Condoleezza Rice was admitted as one of the first women.
Yes, I do.
That was the thing that got them off.
She lived in the block next to me in Washington, D.C.,
Really?
Condoleezza Rice, yeah.
Okay.
Her security detachment used to come and make a hell of a lot of noise early in the morning every morning.
Well, they probably wanted to make sure you didn't go anywhere near it.
Yeah.
Question number 9. You have 3 so far correct. Who holds the record for the best score after 4 days? That would be who's won it with the lowest score, in other words.
The lowest score?
Yeah.
The lowest 4-day score, could it be more than one golfer?
It could be more than one golfer.
Could be more than one golfer. In that case, I think Jordan Spieth equalled Tiger Woods' record of 270.
I've only got how many under par it was, actually. I don't know how much that is.
The under par figure is 18.
Correct.
Hey!
That was very good.
Thank you.
So you got 4 correct out of 9. Final question, number 10.
Okay, yeah.
Who makes the famous Masters green jacket?
The Masters green jacket is... Now, I can't quite understand this because I researched this a few years ago, actually, when I was asked about the tailor who makes the jacket up when the winner comes up. So I assumed it was made actually in Georgia itself. But apparently it's made in Ohio, but it's made in Ohio with material supplied from Augusta, Georgia, from the state Georgia. So the state Georgia sends the material up to Ohio, they make the jacket there, and then they send it back.
Yeah, the question is who makes it?
Well, the guy who obviously sews it together.
You can't just say some guy in Ohio.
No,
answer.
No, it's the guy at the national tournament course who makes it because Augusta, you have to make it for the size of the... I mean, you couldn't... If you made a jacket for Ian Woosnam, it wouldn't fit Nick Faldo, you see what I mean? So it's made on the site.
You're saying it's made at Augusta, Georgia?
At Augusta, Georgia.
Is that your answer?
That's my answer.
Incorrect.
No!
The Masters green jacket is made by Hamilton Tailoring Company of Cincinnati.
Well, how do they do that, then?
Well, they make the jackets there, and then presumably they have a tailor who slightly adjusts it depending on the size of the golfer. Most golfers are not that different in size.
Oh, they are.
No, they're not.
Ian Woosnam is 5'4".
Yeah.
And Ernie Els is 6'3".
Yeah.
So you couldn't give a jacket that was made for Ian Woosnam to Ernie Els.
Yeah, but what you do is you just take up the sleeves, because all they have to do is hand it. One guy has to hand it to the new winner, and they sit in the cabin.
Yes.
They do a quick interview, and then they probably make it look a bit better later on.
I'm sure about that.
Yeah, well, I am.
Oh, that's false information.
And considering that you did a study on exactly.
Nevertheless, I got
made.
50%.
No, you got 4 out of 10.
No, I'm not having one of those questions about when women were admitted.
Well, that's totally
4
about
out of 9.
You got
50%.
You got 4 out. It's still not 4 out of 9 is still not 50%.
Yeah, well,
4.5 out of 9 would be.
Yeah,
5
exactly.
out of 10 would be. But anyway, I think you did quite well. Better than I expected.
Yes.
I was predicting 3 out of 10. You got 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
That was, of course, the Porky quiz.
4.
And that is gone. Ay, ay, ay.
More disco classics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ain't no
love that,
stopping
yeah.
us now. Look
That
at this
does
from
take me
Pete.
back to my disco era,
Does
I
it?
have to say. Yeah.
Please don't do any. We're still on camera, by the way, so I don't want you doing any.
Absolutely.
Any shape throwing. Pete says this: some outrageous cheating going on from Porky on the Masters quiz.
Yeah.
He's clearly referring to some documentation.
No, not at all.
JPK says, well done, exceeded the expectations after a shaky start.
Thank you.
Worth staying up for, and congratulations, both of you, on the award.
Thank you very much indeed. William, who is a regular correspondent, says, never quite made the 18th, Porky. Well, yeah, OK. No bladderation in the clubhouse, bar closed. No, I think you'll find it'll be bladdo in modo today, which is bladderation in moderation.
Well, don't forget we've got another show to do on Saturday.
Yeah, we have, yeah. Well, it won't be excessive.
11 o'clock starts.
Yeah.
So you've got plenty of time. Magnificent quiz ever from Porky, says Paul.
Thank
Birdies
you.
all the way. Matt says this. Ironically, Mike Parry keeps calling MG a one-trick pony. Like, you guessed it, a one-trick pony.
That's right, absolutely. It says here, well, MG, the only one gerrymandering this week is the Porky.
Yeah, well, there you go. So you thought I was going to turn out the other way,
once a cheat, always a cheat. But I never cheat and never have cheated.
There was something very odd about the way you answered one question, I have to say.
I'm sorry. If you can't...
But, I trust you, so
my thought
that's
pattern.
my mistake.
My thought pattern.
Something is very suspicious going on, says Steve. Porky doesn't know that much about golf. He must be cheating.
No, not at all. Thomas here made a great prediction. He says, looking at the way Porky is tonight, I predict the quiz on the Masters has to be 4 out of 10. Absolutely right, except it's 4 out of 9, because one of the questions I would not accept.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's one from Mark who says, don't usually praise Mike Parry, but that was a great result. Funnily enough, Porky isn't questioning a switch of questions. Yeah, because before the quiz you said that if you got the first two right, suddenly I would switch the question, which of course I never do.
No, that's right.
No, I never did it again.
Leon here says, have you not mentioned the award you won? Ha, 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 ha. Are you trying to say we've over-mentioned it? I don't think so. But, it's not often we win an award.
I mentioned it once. I think I got away. I think we're entitled to bask in our glory of not just an award for us, by the way. We have to mention some other people involved. Robin Schoenhofer involved.
Yes.
Sandy Waugh involved.
Absolutely.
Victoria Bourne involved.
David
the
Levine.
guys behind the glass.
Yeah.
David Levine.
Absolutely.
Josh has been co-opted as well.
That's right.
John Hearn.
Absolutely right.
Sam Stevens.
This is not something we
Alex
take...
Dibble gets a mention.
Alex Dibble,
yeah.
Who's Alex Dibble?
He was the guy who was, you see, this is the trouble why people don't like you.
Why?
He was our reporter at the US Embassy.
Oh, of course he was,
And we kept going backwards and forwards.
Good
to.
guy.
Do you remember?
Good guy.
And he got us some very good guests to get on the show. So he played a very important part as well.
And, of course, what I would say is that, we don't take pure personal joy out of winning this trophy. What we take is we take the honour of being representative of the whole organisation.
Yeah, of course.
Talk radio, talk sport.
It's one big happy family.
The wireless group, it's we being like the pathfinders for them, being like the most famous people here tonight from them and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Each other Oscar speech.
Yeah, exactly.
We're here tonight.
Yeah. I want to thank my mother.
But listen, we are, but also, as I said at the top of the show, without exaggeration, we couldn't do any of it without the people that we've got listening to this show, the numbers of people who download the podcast and all of that.
Yes, I totally agree.
It's absolutely wonderful.
I totally agree. Now then, perhaps now is the time to make our millions of listeners, and for whom we're very grateful to your following to us.
I've suddenly got an earache. Do you think it's something to do with listening to you for 3 hours?
No, I think it's to do with the fact that you've probably given up smoking, and it does have serious repercussions on the rest of your body.
How do you know that?
I know.
Because you gave up.
No, I've never given up because I've never really smoked.
You've never given up because you've never really smoked?
No. Listen, what I think we need to avail our audiences is what times are we on air next week?
Yes, this is a very good question.
Thank you.
Well, we're doing a 3-hour show tomorrow, Saturday. The warm-up, which is slightly elongated because it's not a normal Premier League weekend.
Folks, it's a bonus hour, 11 till 2.
11 till 2.
Because it's the England International, so there's not a full afternoon of football. Right. So we're going to fill one of those gaps. I told you about vacuums earlier. We're filling a vacuum.
Yeah, well, let's say we're not really filling a vacuum because that doesn't sound so good.
Well, I mean, we are...
This is one of the reasons you weren't very good at PR.
No, we're contributing another hour.
OK, so we're doing 3 hours on Saturday, and then we're back on Monday.
By the way, we're not charging any extra money for it, are we?
Aren't we? No. Who did you do that deal with? Genius. I mean, never mind about doing 16 million on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you just do pro rata at Talk Sport?
Right, get on with it. Come on.
Yeah. Monday, we return to the airwaves from 10 a.m. Between 10 a.m. and 1, the mid-morning show.
Yes.
We'll be occupying
Excuse me, I've just my attention's just been drawn to a message here, and it's a great point.
Right.
It says Porky should have been awarded 3 points for the names of Player, Palmer and Nicholas in that question. It was a multi-person question. He should have got a point for each. That's from Jeremy. Jeremy, thank you very much indeed.
Jeremy Mander.
I
don't care what Jeremy thinks. I couldn't care less. Jeremy is not part of the independent quizmasters.
Go on.
And how about this from Julian? Julian says, looking closely, the green jacket, when put on the cabin, never fits, with some having extra long arms on some winners. It doesn't fit. They tailor it later, but it is made in Cincinnati. We are then back on Tuesday, mid-morning, 10 till 1 as well.
Yes.
And then Wednesday, also 10 till 1. So we will be occupying the mid-morning slot Monday to Wednesday of next week.
And there's an even bigger bonus the following weekend, because we're on Saturday and Sunday.
I think we are, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
1 to 4 on Sunday.
Yeah, 1 to 4 on Sunday.
Why? Because we're very popular.
Well, I know that, but that's not a specific football match on or something during the earlier period of the warm-up.
No, I think young Max is
this the warm down we're doing again?
The warm down it'll be, yeah. I think so, yeah.
Great.
Young Max
well, it's going to be a busy old week, isn't it? And I'm looking forward to Mother's Day on Sunday when I'm not working.
And although it's not strictly the same sort of thing, we are back on the Sky News pay-per-view in May.
Yeah, but not for a while. Well, it's only March.
Oh, I don't care. You know, people need to know these things.
Knickers on, for heaven's sake.
The pursuit of excellence is something we've striven to try and achieve every minute of every day.
Striven, have we?
We have been in this
I've
this
strived,
studio.
I haven't striven.
Oh, well, I've striven, actually, because that's the past tense. But anyway, if you've strived...
So you're not striving anymore, then? Have you given up striving?
No, not at all.
So you've striven in the past, but you're not striving now, is that what you're telling me?
No, you put words in my mouth.
Well, you're trying to be clever with words, you're failing miserably.
No, you're doing your one-trick pony
this is your new thing.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about one-trick pony. This is what you now call me, and this is all you can call me. So you now keep calling me a one-trick pony.
Well, that's true.
Which is almost as though you're a one-trick pony, because that's all you've got.